Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Battle Cry or Die, doing Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing in 5th edition, for those of you that want to know, which is super fun, very beginner friendly, not as complex as some of the previous editions that have come out. Also not as convoluted as some of the other previous editions that have come out. So it is very nice in that regard. Though it is quite lacking in some of its specificity in regards to, there are many elements that it doesn't quite specify and leaves largely up to the DM, which makes things a challenge sometimes. All right, so last time on our show, our party had an interesting experience interacting with a particular NPC that they were under the impression wanted to sleep with one of the party, and hatched an elaborate scheme to create the illusion that she was being attacked by cultists. Unfortunately, that scheme kind of went a little bit awry, and after some hashing out of things, a brief explanation of circumstances, the party eventually made their way back to the camp, where she began to explain her circumstances and has requested aid of the party. They found out that rather than attempting to sleep with the one party member, she was in fact wanting to meet him secretly to request help. She was previously a member of the Dragon Cult and then has since defaulted, decided that they are acting outside of the bounds of her morality, and she no longer wants to be a part of that, and so has gone into hiding without permission, I guess. So, also the camp was attacked by wolves, and that was dealt with pretty quickly. I'm trying to remember. That's pretty much the extent of what I have in my notes. Did I miss anything? Any fundamentals there, guys?
We were just talking about where we ended because nobody can really remember for sure.
So I believe that it was the evening time, and then everybody had gone to bed after that, and the wolf pack then attacked. And the wolf pack was dispatched of pretty rapidly, and I believe we are in the morning of the next day. So, Atlas, if you wouldn't mind updating our calendar.
I already got you.
Cool, sweet. And that is where we will begin. So Maureen has had retired to her tent to begin inscribing information onto parchment, information pertaining to the Dragon Cult and some of its various schemes, etc., etc. Cool. Also, is anybody watching the stream right now to see if anybody's popping in?
We had Cosmic Crimson saying, "Hey guys, hope you all have a good week."
I had a good week.
Yep.
What's up, Cosmic Crimson?
Okay, maybe I misheard you, but it didn't sound like you said Cosmic at first. It sounded like it said something else. I hate to point that out, but it just kind of threw me off for a second there. I'm not gonna say what it was. I don't want anyone to, be embarrassed by anything.
Cool. So, also, either enjoy the shirt or don't enjoy the shirt. I don't have a background right now, and so the shirt is the best I've got.
I don't enjoy the shirt. I think you should take it off.
Oh no.
Well,
okay. The chat.
Twitch was fun.
Right.
Well, no, men's nipples are fine.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
in discussion
Does it matter if it's
immediately.
Harry?
Oh God. Oh no, that's a fetish. That's a fetish. So no, it would get
Oh God, no.
random.
Oh God, no.
All right.
Oh
I'm
God.
fighting
Just
myself right
ignore-
now. I'm
Just
biting-
ignore
I'm
the
biting
man
my
behind the
tongue.
curtain. Just ignore the man behind the curtain.
I just love that the shirt was a distraction.
Yay, the wolves were dealt with.
Cool. So, as you guys rise up in the next morning, it was particularly difficult to get a long night's rest. So, everybody make a Constitution check. We will start there. And if I remember correctly, Roland, you had already attained 1 point of exhaustion.
That's
From
absolutely
having-
correct.
Yeah. from having-
Wow, there we go.
So
Yeah.
do I still need to roll?
Time to use a point of luck
Or-
for me.
Starting off strong, guys.
It's a check. Not a
Wait,
save.
is it?
So-
It's a check, not a saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh shit,
Dude,
Taki,
something's
my-
going on. There's no way.
Wow.
Someone roll
How
something.
is that? Okay, so
Okay,
that puts me at
Okay. So guys,
two.
we've
So
just
one
had,
more point of cost. Of,
Oh, I'm
of
sorry,
luck.
everyone.
we've just
Okay.
had 3 critical fails in a row.
Nope. I fixed it. I still have
After-
1 point of luck yet left.
After 2 points of luck
Great
already,
start of the
beginning
day.
of the day, our spell sword has finally rolled a 17.
Do I need to
so,
reroll or am I just sticking one?
Yes. Wait, who all did the last watch? Who was a part of the last watch?
I think I was a part of the last watch.
I think it was just you, right?
Yeah, probably.
Just
Probably.
you and the NPCs.
'Cause I think I was.
asking them if they threw a rock in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah. And then when I woke up, you asked who slept in their armor, and I was like, me. And then
Right.
hence the point of exhaustion. But do I need to roll again? Because I mean, did I try to go back to sleep? I don't know. I didn't know we had time.
I mean, I imagine you would have if you weren't going to be a part of the last watch.
Okay. No, I mean after that. It's like after I woke up from the wolf attack. Did I try to go to sleep after that, or was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's still some night left.
Okie dokie. So that's a Constitution, you said?
Yes.
Constitution check. Yes. Right.
Did the
Yep.
original point of exhaustion go away, or do I have that already still? Do I still have that?
We're about to find out.
Okay. Here we go. Let me make sure I can see this when I do it. Okay. Oh, it's not terrible.
Not bad.
So,
All right. All right. Cool. So, and oh yeah, Kidron is not here yet, but will be popping in later, we believe. So I'm going to roll on his behalf.
Well, shit.
He didn't do too bad. All right. So Roland Ricard and Kidron have managed to squeak out a full 8 hours of restful sleep, and have not suffered exhaustion. Let's see. Skadric and just Skadric. So Roland, your point of exhaustion is depleted. You're done.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And Skadric, you have a point of exhaustion.
fine.
I accept it.
And Atlas, you were a part of the last watch.
Yeah.
DM,
So
could I
go
see if I
ahead.
could find a 4-leaf clover around us?
Wow.
Maybe just doing a little investigation.
Yeah, certainly. Make an
Alright.
investigation check. See if you can find a fully close.
Let's
Um,
see. I
there
can't
is still
find
some-
investigation, so maybe this is not looking so good.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, that's not too bad.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Um, so, looking through, so you do know that the forest is fairly close to where you guys are now, east of the river. There's a little bit of a split off of the river that flows, or an inlet into the river, I should say, flowing north from north to the south, just to the east of you guys, and then the forest on the other side of that. As you look on the other embankment, you note that there is a patch of some clovers, a small patch of clovers on the other side. So as you make your way across the river, it's not, in this particular portion, it's fairly small. You begin to dig through the patch of clovers, and you find one single 4-leaf clover that has a caterpillar on it that has eaten a small portion of one of the 4 leaves.
Drop it on. And then we'll come back to everybody with the 4-leaf clover. I assume my kind of the way my luck works is like I woke up and I was feeling like really sore and tired, like and I did like a stretch, and then still feeling really tired, and then like did one big stretch. And you know how you got your arms up above your head and like your back pops like 15 times. You're like, oh, that's what was wrong. I kind of feel like that's what happened.
Okay.
To Ricard, and then I just I feel lucky today. Oh,
Hey, Keegan.
do I notice anybody else in the party feeling tired or run down after that long night?
Yeah, if you look around, you do note that Skodrick is seemingly particularly stiff.
Skodrick, maybe this will make you feel better. I just
Thank
give
you.
him the 4-leaf clover, this one half-eaten petal.
What
Sweet.
do I do with this?
I mean, it's good luck.
I eat it.
Oh, also, real quick, let's see. We're going to start off with a little boost here. 50 points of experience for each of you for the wolves that you killed
Huzzah!
the previous night.
I just leveled up.
Do I?
So I just leveled up.
Like you kicked a chicken. 50 points of experience for you. Good job. I didn't know we were
Chicken
playing
kicker! Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for it.
All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna try and we're basically the idea is to reach. And I'm kind of talking with everybody. So the idea is for us to reach Waterdeep before the end of the day today, right, y'all?
That's the plan. Stretching out.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go through and anybody that wants to help me, we can try and rouse everybody in the camp up and get them up and moving, and so we can hit the road with gusto to hopefully make that time frame. I'd much rather sleep in a bed tonight than out in the wilderness again.
Cool. All right, so make a little bit of a persuasion check, but do so with advantage since you've already established relationship with the group that you guys are traveling with.
Oh, did I just roll perception? Oops.
You did.
Sorry about that.
Getting your P's confused. Oh God.
It's still a 12 with advantage.
Um,
And rolls today. Whoa.
all right. Yeah, right. We're starting strong, guys.
It's the opposite of last week.
So it doesn't take very much. Everybody's as you're speaking to everybody, you know that they're quite eager to get off of the road, especially after the series of events that have taken place. So for any of our Twitch watchers who are not familiar with what has happened so far, our company has been traveling from Dragonspear to Waterdeep, which the journey started much further south than that, but in the midst of this segment of travel, there has been a significant amount of, circumstances that have taken place. An attack on the convoy of merchants, and that largely ended up with the cult retreating due to an unintentional series of horn blows that signified to the cult to retreat. Which was pretty entertaining, very unexpected. And so you guys are only half a day, maybe a day's worth of travel from Waterdeep, unless you travel with haste, which is what the intention is. And you find that rousing people into that motivation is not a difficult thing to do, given the series of events that have taken place so far. So everybody then begins to hastily pack their tents and pack their carts and attach their horses. Kidron, I imagine that you're going to perform your routine of saying a daily prayer.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, if you don't mind making a percentile check for me, or a percentile roll.
And of course, I'm making my infamous password. Trouble.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything in preparation for the day?
Prestidigitation and kind of clean myself up, since we're obviously not taking time for showers this morning.
Okay.
And trying to kind of quietly try and do that for each other member of the party as I'm moving around. They're packing things up. We're getting ready to hit the road.
Okay.
When he comes by Skaldrick, he's like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, these skills are getting a little dirty."
Understandable. It's been a long trek on the road.
So as you guys are carrying out your morning routine here, getting ready for travel, one particular gnome, familiar to everyone, kind of saunters up, and as Jamna approaches, she says, "Very hard to sleep with your party around. It seems that you get very much events take place always."
By all
I mean-
means, you can go hide in the woods and sleep out there, if it makes you feel better.
I'm
Kinda give her
gonna
a bit of a stink eye.
try to interject. I mean, to be fair, wolves. We can't. It's not really. Can't blame us for wolves. If it was a dragon cult or something along the lines of that, perhaps maybe some assassins. But not wolves. They just come around all the time.
Oh, perhaps wolves have affinity for you, my friend.
What would give you that idea? As I try to hide the wolf mask on my face. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That deception check.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's see if you keep the trend.
13.
So,
Very average. Very good.
she looks and
Shit.
she's like, yes. And she kind of looks at you skeptically, or with skepticism in her eyes. She says, I have heard that perhaps there was a wolf head that you carried around for some time.
Uh,
Do you think that might not have anything to do with it?
okay, out of character. Do I still have that thing? Did I get it? I got rid of that, right?
Part of it, yeah.
Okay.
How does she know? I say that out loud.
Okay. Well, Skydrick says that.
Yes, Godric said that a lot.
Looking at him with a how does she know that?
That's a very good question.
She looks
DM,
into it.
I want to like be eyeballing her, like not blinking, and my pseudo dragon's like on my shoulder doing the exact same thing, just
Okay,
head cocked a little bit to the side, both of us kind of the same direction.
sure. She says, there are many stories floating around this group. As I have gotten to know them, I think that you're more well known than you think.
Are we more popular or an embarrassment to everyone?
I think that right now people are more afraid of dying than they are worried about whether or not they like you. But they say they want to stay close
Okay.
for protection. So perhaps it is more positive outlook than negative.
I take that as a win internally.
So she stops and turns and she looks at Atlas for a moment and she says, I am curious though, how do you sleep, my big metal friend? Okay, well apparently not so good as you might. So and then she turns and just walks away. So and she makes her way back to her horse and begins to strap her bedroll to the side of her saddle.
I like wave my hand in front of Atlas's face and see if he's processing anything right now. You awake, man?
Just gonna like stare at her, and when she walks, he's just gonna like turn his head and just keep staring. Not saying-
She seems to take no note of this whatsoever. Like she has lost concern.
Fair enough. I don't blame her.
All right, so the rest of the group quite rapidly is prepared for travel once again. So after Kidron, I did not see your roll of your percentile die come through. If you had attempted to do that, would you mind doing that one more time for me? Kidron?
Still working on the load, apparently.
Oh, gross. Technical difficulties, everybody. Unfortunately.
Same. Let's see. That's just, of course, server connection.
That's all right. Just message me when it comes up. And I'll see
Okay.
your roll come through as well. So,
Absolutely.
all right. So the rest of
Still
you
here.
guys,
Sorry.
as y'all get everything packed up and begin to travel, no note of anything suspicious going on, but everybody make a perception check for me.
Pseudo dragon as well.
Sure, certainly.
Okay. As usual, I'll have her. She'll take breaks every now and then. So you, DM, I'll let you decide whenever one of these come up. Of course, if she's
Okay.
in the air or if she's resting.
For sure.
So, one for me and then 2 for her. Woohoo! I actually rolled well.
Nice. All right.
It's gonna be a bad day for me.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Um,
Would Skaldrick know if lesser restoration would help with his exhaustion?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. No.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bro.
Oh,
Jesus, you're
It's-
not
it's-
having a
it's gonna
good
be one
night.
of them days.
in the midst of beginning to get prepared for the day and the travel of the day or whatever, Skadric is trying to find some mental focus there, and kind of reaching out to Bahamut for some help. But you don't seem to get any kind of notion that lesser restoration would aid in the exhaustion. However, as you guys begin to travel, Ricard, Roland, and Atlas, you guys look out or whatever. The party is staying particularly close. The group that's traveling with you guys, the merchants. So they've formed a more tightly packed convoy in this particular time, and there seems to be a little bit of an air of nervousness, kind of moving about the crowd. And it seems that so if the three of you, Atlas, Roland, and Ricard, if you guys want to roll an insight check. Okay. So Atlas, you kind of get the note that there is a little more stress today than there has been previously. Just with the idea of the retreat of the Great Dragon Cult previously, from the large attack that had happened on the merchants convoy, in addition to the what seemed to be continual events that take place, how you guys just kind of seem to attract whether it's trouble or some kind of uh, extenuating circumstances. You guys seem to be a magnet for that, and so because of that, there seems to be this aura of stress. As you look over the gnome Jamna, doesn't seem to be adhering to or upholding the same feelings as the rest of the crowd. She seems fairly relaxed, kind of slumped over on her horse with her feet extended out in front of her, given that she's a gnome riding a full-blown horse, which again you find just to be kind of an interesting and kind of funny set of circumstances there. But as far as everybody else is concerned, there definitely seems to be some anxiety in regards to wanting to make it to Waterdeep, so that people can disperse and go out there, go their various ways, and no longer have that feeling of imminent danger or doom, that feeling of impending doom. So
So I'm gonna kind of look at the other members of the party around me and go, have y'all noticed how everybody's kind of packed up tighter today? You think maybe we should hurry along? Is y'all seeing something that I'm not, as far as like danger on the horizon, something going on?
Yeah, I've been staring at him for quite a long time. I'm gonna it's gonna furl his brows,
okay.
looking like he's focused or whatever, and just keep staring at these people. But I'm gonna go silent again and keep staring at them. Maybe that's why they're nervous.
Okay.
Yeah. Perhaps Atlas. That's entirely possible. Or we know we got attacked by wolves, and we did. I don't know if I should say we were attacked by a red wizard, which I think one of us should check on him just to make sure he's still bound properly.
I have been watching over him.
Good job. And then, the Dragon Cold attack. I think they just maybe, think that we're the first, or possibly only now? Like, does anyone else actually been like defending the encampment, like we have consistently that we know of?
So as far as currently, from what you know, but of course, you haven't really heard any rumors of other traveling parties that have had circumstances. Though you do know that it does happen on occasion where a traveling convoy of merchants or traders or anything for that matter will periodically be attacked by orcs or barbarians or trolls or so it is something that happens on occasion. Um, and generally over the span of the Sword Coast, it's something that happens really on a daily basis, depending on what area you're in. But you haven't really heard any information about split offs from the convoy, or any other large parties having any kind of significant attacks like this outside of the looting and destruction of towns and villages that you've heard of, in regards to the Dragon Cult previously.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're just feeling like we're like a good safety, not so much a safety net, but like first line of defense if something goes wrong. Or perhaps they just want to kill us. It's kind of a toss-up at this point. I don't know how much we really know these people. There's Jimna and, the couple, and then the Red Wizard. We've all met them all over the course of, it's been a couple of days. Like 3-4 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if Roland's like
okay.
says people want to kill us and the red and going on and on, I'm gonna kind of just slow down a little bit and look back and make sure the red wizard's still there and not like casting a spell about to blow us all up. I guess he's still there. Can I roll a perception on that?
Yeah. Yeah, so as you check the back of the cart or whatever in the little compartment that was built for you guys, and he is still tied and gagged, essentially, laying on the floor. Currently, he seems to be sleeping. It's kind of strange. You would think that the movement and everything would wake him up, but perhaps he didn't sleep through the night and out of exhaustion has fallen into a sleep deep enough so that he wouldn't be wakened by the events.
Can I mage hand and poke him?
Sure. Yeah.
Just like not because mage hand can't like hit, but just like
Right.
maybe like go to pick up his clothing and make sure it's not an illusion.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and you do as you cast Mage Hand down to where he is or whatever, and as your Mage Hand grabs some of his robing, it does. He is still physically there. As you do that, he stirs a little bit, but he does not come out of his sleep. Cool. So, as you guys are traveling throughout the day, it seems to go pretty well. The morning changes to late morning, changes to afternoon, and then you guys are finding that the travel is pretty silent. There's not really any commotion going on, and given that you guys are this close to a forest, it's interesting that you guys aren't seeing any kind of creatures or coming out of the forest. But it is off the distance a little ways. So perhaps if something were to come to the edge of the forest, perhaps some of the creatures or things you guys think might be staying close to home, essentially. And you guys make it a pretty good distance along the way there.
I have a quick question.
Certainly.
Oh, I love that role. I was gonna ask about my book.
Yep.
The way in which it's actually, I guess, structured. Have I noticed like a pattern to it? Like as far like I know, like last time I was looking at the potions. Is it a section for potions and a section for like poisons and a section for? Does it go like that, or is it just like random entries in it? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out. 'Cause I did
Gotcha.
say I wanted to market. I just don't know how it's actually structured.
Right, yeah. So there is definitely a clear delineation or a clear separation between potions and poisons. But what you find that there are, or what you find is there are certain sections depending on how the potions or poisons influence or affect an individual. So, for instance, the potions that would make you resistant to fire are next to the poisons that would make you susceptible to fire or more susceptible to fire.
Interesting.
So, and that's kind of how you see the separations going in and among and throughout the book that you have.
So they're essentially categorized by the effect,
Right.
not by the actual item itself, like the base
Right.
item. Okay.
Yeah. You do find that in the indexing, there is a large list of like the pages that or the categories that something might be in, a specific potion that somebody might be looking for that would be hard to delineate what its results are. You do find that there's some indexing for those particular types of potions or poisons. You also find that the indexing is separated categorically based on the ingredients. So it'll show you an ingredient and then show you like various potions or poisons that might contain that ingredient.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay. I guess we're still having a conversation in game. Ricard, do you walk off to the back, or are you still questioning why people are close to us, or?
No, I didn't. So the red wizard's in the back of our cart, so I kind of figured we're all right there at the front near the cart. I just kind of maybe slowed down a little bit or turned my horse so that I could look in the back of the cart and kind of eyeballed him as you were talking.
Okay.
So just I kind of, I guess I looked back up and kind of, I'm just making sure he's still there,
Okay.
and not doing nothing. I guess we have been going through a lot during this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you look at just from since we left Daggerford, it's I guess a lot's happened since Dragon Spear. That's all,
Oh yeah.
and we still have a long way to go once we get out of Waterdeep. But Waterdeep's kind of like my home away from home. It'll be nice to be there. I guess we just, no matter where we're at until all this is done, I guess we can't feel too safe,
Yeah. I mean, just everyone stay on their guard. Something I can really suggest.
Oh yeah.
Especially you, Atlas. Use those eyes. Use those
Does his
cybernetic eyes.
head like spin all the way around, like unnervingly, or
That's a good question.
does it still work like a human body? Like are you like turned around looking behind? I'm curious.
Is he wearing a cloak?
Can I do that?
It's very weird.
It does not turn completely around.
Oh.
I have limits. I don't think I can do that.
That was just for visualization purposes.
If nothing's really happening during that period, if the conversation's over, I guess I'll try to read my book a little bit.
Yeah, make an intelligence check.
Specifically, now you mentioned the categorizations. Just sticking with that because I don't know what else is in there. Would I have gotten to the? I guess you mentioned like a fire section about items that had fire associated with it. Would I know that, or was that something you just using as an example?
That was an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I will say intelligence.
Yes,
Ooh.
Did I come across the fire section? I don't know.
If that's what you're looking for specifically, then absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know if I could ask. I don't know. I mean, that's fine. Sure. Just got a random inspiration. Fire. Don't know where I got that from.
Right. All right. So there's a couple of things that you learn. I'm going to send you the message. I'm going to send you a message so as to save you the information or whatever.
Okay.
Cool. So as you guys are traveling, one of the things that you guys hear being mentioned throughout the crowd around you, especially now, it's much easier to hear, especially now that everybody's closer, is the question as to whether or not anybody wants to enter Waterdeep from the south gate, or if anybody wants to enter from the river gate. And there's a little bit of a separation between the two, or you guys hear some separation amongst the traveling party, just as to which gate they would rather go into, which seems kind of ridiculous, but there are some arguments you guys hear that are beginning to raise up a little bit, or rise in their decibel level, about that. Just some of the arguments being made are that if the Dragon Cult is going to catch up and try and reattack the party again, that it would more likely happen at the south gate, because that's where they would anticipate people coming in from.
Is from my knowledge of the city, is there one gate that's more heavily traveled and more guarded by that fact, or like what are the functional differences between the two? Other than I believe we'd get to the south gate first, quicker than the river gate. And would there at this point in the day, would there be any chance of not making it in time before they either close down the gates or night falls if we went for the river gate? Did those questions make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is something that Ricard would know and Atlas would know, and any of you that have traveled into Waterdeep or out of Waterdeep in your previous history, that the South Gate does typically have a little bit more guarding to it, simply because it is the northernmost portion of the tradeway, or at least the largest portion of traveled trail on the tradeway. And so typically the south gate is more well guarded just because of protective purposes. That is where the merchants enter and leave typically. Not many people go northward, or at least the largest portion of people don't go northward from there except to travel to Neverwinter. So there are some traveling parties that head north from there, though not quite as frequently as what is at the south gate, and not many enter from the eastern gate, except to avoid the amount of traffic at the north or south gates. So if you guys don't mind, I would like to pause for just a moment. I need to step out, and I think this would be a good time whilst I am stepping out to grab some snacks, maybe get a drink. My wife's going to bed, so I'm going to go say goodnight to her real quick, and we will reconvene in just a few minutes.
All right. right.
All right. I'll leave you
Okey-dokey.
guys on the map so you can see where we are.
So, I'm just wondering, the users that are in the chat now, are all these just us in the chat? I'm just wondering.
Entirely possible. Or it's 5. Okay, 2 people came in. Unless someone else from. Okay, so I'm Shot of the
Like,
Past.
learn everybody's names on Twitch, so that way I'm not mistaking
Yeah.
anybody.
Okay. Assuming you're Avery, as himself.
Yeah.
Claudius Cosmic. Commander Root, is that somebody?
That's the Twitch default. It's almost like a bot, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got Kage and then Ryathskus,
Ryothskus.
yeah.
Kage might be Van.
Entirely possible.
I'll ask though once he gets back.
Okay.
Hey, Waterdeep.
Yay, maybe we'll actually go inside the city tonight.
No, right? Do you guys know about the interactive map? Just Google Waterdeep interactive map, and you should find one that's got like a freaking ton of like pins and stuff on it with information of like what a particular place is called, or like what the map of the city really looks like.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I don't want to ruin anything.
Okay, I think you guys, if it's kept as a surprise for those of you who've never been to Waterdeep in D&D before, this is
no,
quite. Oh, something else.
Yeah, I was gonna just because I don't want to mess the setup. Mess with the setup. It shouldn't be that bad actually.
Can you pull it up on your phone?
Go do that.
Oh God, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on here. Jesus, didn't even load the whole map. Like half the map, and then a bunch of dots.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Might have been a mistake.
There's been a mistake.
Oh no, it's just
Oh, I see it now.
you getting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Reminds
not.
me of
Son of a bitch.
stuff that I've seen, like World of
What
Warcraft maps. Avery was talking about, Avery was talking about Waterdeep interactive map.
Oh,
Which I'm pretty sure I've showed you it, David.
yeah. Yeah, you introduced me to it. I actually have it pulled up right now.
Looks like a cluster.
But there's a big mistake on it?
Oh no! I tried to pull it up on my phone and it only loaded like.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's huge.
rough.
It's
It's
big.
Yeah, one of you guys can see it through there, probably not, but it only loaded like that portion of the map.
That's the thing.
For those of you watching, the map that we're talking
So I'm
about
just gonna pull it up on my
is
tablet.
You want me to I'll move it over?
edd.org/atlas. You should be able to find it there.
Which
That's
I
the
also
note.
Googled.
That's the map that we're looking at. We're not going to show it on the stream, just because of copyright. But if you want to use it for yourself, aid.org edd.org/atlas. And you should be able to find the Waterdeep interactive map. It's quite large and has a significant amount of information. Great for DMs who want pre-established information that don't want to do a bunch of fill-in.
Okay, that's slightly better. Still not the whole thing. Gotta love that. Okay, I'm gonna just pull it up on my computer. We're gonna do that. Okay. Why? Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. I don't know if you guys remember when GTA 5, they were talking about the development. They were like,
Mr. Rooster.
oh, yeah, it's like the entirety, it's like 3 whole like Red Dead Redemption maps in one map.
Huh.
And I'm like, really?
Yay.
And someone made like a chart and showed how big that would be. And I'm like, that's actually insane.
Yeah, right.
My Walmart connection finally worked. Oh my goodness. It's so hard. I'm sorry, Jensen.
Who's this guy?
Great timing, actually.
Yeah.
Complete.
Is the stream paused right now?
Nope.
Okay, cool. That's all right. No, that's all right.
Perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
having a
Yes.
issue taking a look at. Oh, here. Hang on a second. Because it looks like we've got a couple extra watchers right now. We've got about 6 people watching. So anybody who's watching, welcome.
Perfect.
This is the Battle Cry or Die D&D stream. We are incredibly amateur. By that I mean that this is our second D&D stream.
Yeah,
So
we're freaking awesome. Yes. It's a lot of fun.
If I'm speaking incredibly fast, please excuse me. I've had a little too much to drink. Coffee,
no.
that is. I've had a little too much coffee to drink.
That's the opposite for me.
If you had like a shot of whiskey beforehand or something,
Right.
Do I need to slow down some? I'm sorry. I think it's a combination of.
You sound excited, so that's really good.
Yeah.
Mr. Rooster, welcome. Mr. Rooster says he loves D&D, and he's drunk.
Good.
Welcome.
It's
Thank
a
you for your
beautiful
candor.
story that you're about to immerse yourself in.
I'm going to be
Yes.
honest with you, man. I think that is the pastime, the favorite pastime of a majority of people is to be drunk and play D&D or watch somebody play
Seriously.
D&D. So welcome to our D&D campaign. We're going through Hoard of the Dragon Queen, for those of you that don't know. Well, a variation of Hoard of the Dragon Queen, and by the variation, I mean that there's been a significant number of changes so as to try and impact the very linear circumstances that take place in what is arguably the worst module of 5e.
It's a rainbow effect that the DEM actually gave us. Perfect. Oh yes, and that's not. It's very pleased. Yes. We have this immersive world that I love. Continue.
Delicious. I believe everybody's back now, so if you guys want to jump back into it, unless anybody else needs to mention anything to our watchers.
My OnlyFans account is. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
No plugs. No plugs for your fans only account, okay? Or if there are plugs on your fans only account, we don't want to know about it.
Yeah, I can't even say mine.
Battle
So
cry
shut
or
up.
die.
Right.
Join
We want to hear about
us. Yeah.
OnlyFans. We want to hear about plugs though.
Okay. I actually have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Well, you guys don't mind.
He's got to take photos for this Snapchat. Just
Yeah, I'm totally just
Yeah.
going to the bathroom just for relief. That's it.
It's going to take him a little extra because of his plugs.
Once he gets them out, it's smooth sailing.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining us. Thank you. Enjoy. Yes. It's interesting story. Amazing story.
The campaign,
2018, right?
not rolling in his plugs. Huh?
Yeah, late 2018.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's been going for some time now. Which, by the way, we're working on some videos, and we're doing an intro video, essentially from the perspective of each individual player character from the beginning of their character's entry into the campaign up until now, and then we're going to do one overarching video that includes some summarization of all of that compiled into one grand intro story, so you guys can kind of know where you're not, just jumping in blindly. I mean, you are right now, but when that video comes out, you won't be.
So yeah, you can watch the videos when we go to break, so you don't have to see this interaction.
Right. This random chit chat. If you guys want, we can stick around for a little bit after the session ends. Speaking of which, while we're on break, so as not to interrupt the session again, what time does everybody need to jump off?
I'm gonna have to jump off at 12.
Same.
Okay.
Good. Midnight.
Ricard, the same for you, I guess. All right. So, official session end 12 o'clock. Those of us that can stick around, if you guys want to, we can do a little Q&A. If anybody in the chat wants to throw some questions in there at any point between now and the end of our session, we'll try to get to those at the end of the session. Just to let you guys know, I personally will not adhere to or answer questions about my personal life. And I imagine that nobody else on our stream would want to either.
I'm totally open. Ask away.
Rolling's an open book, so if you have personal questions about rolling, please ask away. We'll get to those at the end of the stream. Ricard, we can't hear you.
I have limits. You can't know my address, my phone number, but beyond that, it's like, yeah, why not?
So your social's fine. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let me get a pen and paper.
Oh yes.
I'll answer some questions, but not depending on what they are.
Are you Caucasian, sir? I can't tell.
You know what? I refuse to answer that question.
Legal domination.
I identify as an attack helicopter. Thank you very much. That's all I'm saying.
So, yes.
The reason that you can't tell that I'm Caucasian or not is because I have a lot of filters going right now.
Oh no.
No, I can tell you're Caucasian because your
Got the Michael
arms are
Jackson
almost the
filter.
same color as a shirt. I can tell you're Caucasian.
I thought his shirt was brown.
So we see the gate.
Nice.
Okay, so we're going to take the session back again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a little bit of information for you guys to know, or for you guys that know about Waterdeep, and there is some generalized information for those of you who have only been to Waterdeep in the past, briefly, or those of you who have heard about Waterdeep. So everybody is kind of familiar with the fact that there are two kind of separate, well, not separate, but two different, not factions per se, but categorizations of guard that are in Waterdeep, and that is the City Watch and the other group that I just had right in front of me and scrolled away from for a moment. Now I can't find it. I believe it's just the City Watch and the City Guard. And the City Watch are the ones who typically are the local policing. So they enforce the laws of Waterdeep in and among the citizens of Waterdeep, and the other portion of that, or the other group, the city guard, they're the ones who watch posts and staff the garrisons. They're the soldiery, essentially. They serve as bodyguards and gate guards, etc. So if you're outside of the gate coming in or posing a threat, etc., you're probably going to be dealt with by the city guard. If you're breaking the laws of Waterdeep, it is going to be the city watch. So that's just kind of just a small tidbit of information that you guys know. Also, this is essentially a melting pot of all types of races and peoples that exist in Waterdeep. Given the trade, both naval and land-based trade, there's a significant number of peoples as well as just items. Pretty much anything that you want, you could find. So you guys kind of hear this argument beginning to happen in and among the peoples. Some arguing that they feel that perhaps they should go to the Rivergate. Others arguing that the Rivergate would be, or isn't necessarily any better of a decision because it would put you guys getting there later. But also there might be a little bit of less guarded. It might be a little less guarded than the other portions or the other gates. And so some of those people making that argument feel that, if the Dragon Cult were going to meet you guys here, perhaps the river entrance would not be, or the river gate entrance would not be a wise decision. However, as you guys are traveling, you do note that afternoon is beginning to turn to late afternoon, and you guys see Waterdeep off in the distance. And again, I need everybody to make a perception check, and you can go ahead and roll with your pseudo dragon, Ricard, if you want to.
Hey,
Scodrick, you see all.
finally, man, my rolls tonight were horrible.
Until this one.
Yeah.
Perception check, of course, yes.
Breaking the trend.
Mm-hmm.
So Ricard, Roland, Skydrick, and Kidron, you guys all kind of know, at this time of the day, well, Atlas, this would be something you would know too also. But at this time of the day, the sun is beginning to make its way into the distant horizon. The sky has begun to turn to a light orange color as the sun is heading towards setting. There's a light breeze blowing, though clouds are beginning to gather in the sky, and as you guys look northward, you see that there are some deep gray clouds blowing in from the north, it seems. And so you imagine that though it's not raining right now, it is likely to or could be in the near future. So Ricard, Roland, Kidron, and Skodrick, as you guys look, there definitely seems to be a large population. Is the argument, what gate would you guys like to approach?
Well, I guess we need to discuss that. I would still lean towards the south gate.
I think the same thing. There's really no reason to
Yeah.
go through the gate.
It's not that far away, not that far out of the way, really, but still, it just with the amount of extra guard at the south gate, and the number of people that travel in, I feel like we'd be able to get in a little bit better.
I agree.
Faith, just go up to the river
Oh,
gate because we're gonna have to pass more north territory to get to the river gate anyway, and I don't see any reason to, unless there's some benefit to doing it.
The only benefit I could see is if I was trying to sneak in and I wanted to go to the entrance, the least amount of security. But I doubt that a group of people in here are actively trying to do that. I mean, it's possible, but that's just my thinking on it. But I'm agreeing with you that we should approach it through the gate with the most guards,
Well,
simply for security's sake.
we've only got the one person that we're trying to sneak in here, and she's going to be invisible, right?
No. I'm not making an argument for the other gate. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying
Oh.
the only reason I can see someone wanting to go through that gate, given the security issues, is to get in without being, discovered amongst this group. But aside from that, there's no reason for us to put ourselves at risk by taking a longer route to potentially more people that can secure the caravan.
Mhm. Okay.
Skadrick, you have any thoughts on this?
With the storm coming in, might as well go to the nearest gate.
I'm going to try to keep an eye out for any kind of craziness. How is the forest that we were passing? Have we gotten completely past that now, or is that?
Yeah, you've definitely put some distance between you guys and the forest.
All right. So is there like a clear? Is it clear to us what's around us? Like a, around, like how far can we see around us? I guess if someone was trying to ambush us, is there like a way for them to have snuck up on us?
So there are a couple of geographical varieties in this area. Given that you guys have a pretty large river north of you, all that comes with a bit of erosion that had happened, some rocks and boulders and things that have made their way in, but those are sparsely populated across the ground in this particular area. There's a large area of tall grass, the grass blowing in the wind slightly, with some rolling hills, but for the most part it's pretty flat. So as you're looking around or whatever, if somebody were to be attempting to sneak up from this direction or in this particular area, it would be difficult, and it would be much easier, you believe, to sneak up from either on the beach portion or the area where the coast is, or perhaps from one of the river areas.
Okay. I'm just going to keep an eye out for any kind of, ambush or anything like that. And yeah, agree that we should go to the southern gate.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, where are we going first when we actually enter the city? Like, where's our first goal?
Well, there's a certain person we need to speak to, and I want to kind of look around, DM, if that's okay, and make a perception check.
Sure.
If necessary, the people around us, make sure nobody's listening in, like
Okay.
a certain little gnome.
Sure.
I should like to ask, where is she?
So she is kind of like to the back left of your party. She's not quite on the perimeter, so she's probably about 20 feet from you guys to the back left. So the southeast, essentially, of your party, as you guys are facing and traveling to the west.
Okay. Let's see. So, as we're talking, can I use prestidigitation to make like 10 feet away from us in her direction, just like it would basically sound like kind of a loudish wind, it's a harmless sensory effect. It won't really do anything other than just make some noise.
Yeah, so essentially you're just trying to create some sound masking.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Make an Arcana check for me just to see
Sure.
the performance that you do.
There you go.
Just to kind of create that and then maintain it.
Yeah. Because I can. Is it a No, it's not concentration. I can make it happen for up to an hour. So it's not like I have to continuously cast it over and over, right?
Right. No, it
I
would
just
just
have
be
to
like one
put it there and
casting.
maintain it.
And, yeah.
Does it,
Yeah.
does
So you do
Wait.
kind of create a. I'm sorry, Atlas. You were about to say something.
don't worry about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Yeah, I almost broke meta.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as you cast it out or whatever, you do note that the hair on one side of her head kind of poofs around for a minute, and she looks at the grass and kind of looks has a strange look on her face just for a moment, almost as if recognizing that the wind is a little weird. But as she's looking at the grass and sees that it's moving as well, she kind of shakes off that any thoughts of that, any thoughts of abnormalcy in this situation, and doesn't seem to be taking note of or paying any specific attention to you or the group as you guys are traveling.
So we have to get Maureen, and we have to disguise her husband. Y'all, I like the idea of having her closer to us in case she's in need of protection than farther away.
Yes.
I'd say
please.
closer.
Yes.
Okay, so you said disguise her husband. Are we not disguising her at all? We're just gonna let her walk in.
Oh no, she's going to be invisible.
Okay, but it's not permanent though. Like, how long is she planning on being here? How long we have planned?
Well, that's the plan was to. She was going to decide where she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And we're going to get her there.
Okay.
So we've got to speak to her before we get. We need to do this now before we get any closer to town.
Okay.
And put all this into effect immediately. So she's going to decide where she wants to go. If she's going somewhere else, or if she's going to the Harpers. If she's going somewhere else, then she needs to hand over the information she has. And if she's going to the Harpers, then we'll also ferry her there safely. And if she decides to split and go her own way, then so be it. But or if she decides to go somewhere else, then I don't mind getting her there. But I can't guarantee her safety really after that if she's not, going somewhere I know that can provide security for her. We can't spend the whole time, start just gallivanting around protecting her from and give up on the mission that we're already in the process of doing. This the whole reason we've been doing this is stop the cult of the dragon.
And we got to take him home as well.
Correct. We have to get Atlas to his home, to his family. So I like the idea of getting her to people I trust and letting them take that duty over from that point, and then getting Atlas to his family and not bringing any further harm to them by bringing more than what we already are, which is which honestly,
Agreed.
Atlas, I would understand if you didn't want the rest of us being around your family. It seems like we're bringing trouble wherever we go lately.
I don't know why he wouldn't want us around his family. What have we done? Scott's done nothing. Kitchen's done nothing. I don't know. I could have done many things. I don't know.
I didn't say we have done things, but the problems we tend to bring.
Just pish posh. I don't. That happens. Didn't he get
True.
captured? Didn't he get captured initially? I'm just trying to make sure I understand the story.
I don't
It's not
remember.
just
Well,
us.
I
I
wasn't
feel like
capturing. I just woke up.
it's a lot of blame getting tossed our direction. Just making sure it's being tossed out equally,
Well,
Like,
So,
keep
yeah.
the water fireballs in the wagon.
dispersed.
Talk about showing you my family.
Keep the Wanda fireballs where?
Maybe in the wagon or your.
What?
Oh, that's going to have no effect over that Wanda fireballs.
So you-
I'm going to take the Wanda fireballs out and just flick it in the distance,
Oh
and
no.
then hold my left hand up, and it's going to reappear in my
Master
left
Roland.
hand.
Yes,
And
Keedron.
I'm going to say it has no effect on this wand as to where it's at, and I put it back in its hiding place.
Quite impressive. Maybe we should also keep a leash or something on your maybe tendency to use the wand of fireballs when around my family.
Good
I
luck
would
with that. Good
never.
luck with that, Atlas. Good luck.
Did the Wanda
it's,
fireballs get used on anybody that should not have been used on recently? No. Thank you very much.
Okay, define
feel-
recently.
I
Just
feel
out of character. How long ago was the dragon attack at TKM? I need to know.
how long ago was the dragon? It was a long, long time ago. As far
Okay,
as
all right. Okay.
Check
At
on
the
Alvin.
10. That's
See
a 10.
how-
that was
Whoa, whoa.
like, yeah, that was a pretty pretty wild. I think that was before Baldur's Gate, right? The dragon attack.
It
No,
was.
that was right after. It was right after.
Right after Baldur's Gate. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Because you guys came from Elturel, not Barrett.
Yeah, we met Alvin in Baldur's Gate, and then we
Right.
went up.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
But Keedron, you're trying to ask me something.
Oh, I was just saying that MasterCard is one of Fireball is just. That's all.
His fireball is just.
Well, thank you.
justified.
Usually, yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. But you
don't.
already said, MasterCard. You already said, it is as is. It's been a pretty good long lengthy time since we've seen it too, and otherwise used on any kind of situation that we never actually had to use it. So.
It's
A
been
lot of ego
limited,
struck in there, Keedron.
limited
No,
use.
no, Roland. No, not at all.
A lot of validating decisions. So just it's fine. It's fine. Atlas, your
need to get
concerns
into
are your concerns are not unwarranted. I understand.
I'm trying to figure out when I ever did anything remotely questionable with the Wanda fireballs around Atlas.
It was amazing.
I think it was your inclination to almost do something.
We've
I think he
talked
sees your.
about it so many times, like 8 times.
So
I know
you're-
we've used it as a threat
out of
against people
character.
multiple
Is this
times.
now Atlas
Actually-
prejudging
actually-
regard?
Because we actually told him what Master Ricard did.
Yes, but
in the
we
past.
told him, and he's seen you almost pull it out a couple times in situations. So I
Hey,
think he's a little bit.
Yes.
It's scary.
No, he used it. He used it on the Red Wizard.
He
I
did
did use it on the Red
Yes,
Wizard
yes,
in a very
yes, he did.
safe and controlled manner. Nobody was near him.
Right.
His horse, his poor horse.
That fed the entire caravan that night. Okay.
Anyway, okay, all right. We're being off track. But
So real quick, I just wanted to mention, and I don't know if this is true for anybody else, but so Kidron, I know you were having some network issues or with the server or whatever. Your mic is a little low. I don't know if there's some adjustments you could make
I
to
turned him up.
bring it up a little bit, but it does seem to be a little distorted and a bit low.
It's
I
a
can
little-
still hear you, but it's taking a little bit of concentration in order to do so. Now that might be something you can't do anything about right now, and so my apologies if you can't.
No.
So I just wanted to throw
Make
that
some
out
note.
first. Okay. I thought it might be related to your networking issues that you're having. So for anybody watching the Twitch channel, please forgive us. This is something that we're still having some issues with. So, but for everybody else, so you guys all kind of note that, or as you're looking out, you are approaching. You guys are approaching off in the distance. There is the south gate of Waterdeep, and so finally, this long journey is the close of this long journey is coming to it. Is in the distance. Essentially, the light at the end of the tunnel has grown brighter. As you guys are looking, you note that there is a significant number of guard standing out at the south gate. Now, it's from this distance, it's pretty difficult to tell how many there are exactly. I'm not 100% sure what happened to Roland or to Atlas there.
Just has his video on.
I don't know. I don't
Right.
remember
everything. Anyway, so both on horseback and standing, Skadric, you note that there is a general sigh of relief spreading in and throughout the group around you, and it's slowly becoming less tightly knit. People are beginning to loosen themselves from being so packed in this convoy in the last moments of your travel, or the last day of travel here towards Waterdeep. And Skadric, you also hear close by there one particular younger couple that have been traveling, and look, darling, we're almost there. We've made it. We've survived it. And there's a young lady's voice that you hear immediately after that. Yes, quite exciting. And then you guys also hear. Oh no! We just got information about Atlas in the chat. That's why he disappeared. So he'll be back momentarily.
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so and you hear another particular couple that you would recognize as the people bickering back and forth. One of them being the drunkard who was bringing the trade of mead with him, but has since lost his cart of mead and has requested assistance from you guys previously to acquire more once reaching Waterdeep. And then, some other banter going back and forth about there are a couple of people disagreeing with the fact that you guys are approaching from the south gate, but that disagreement begins to ease as they also take note of the amount of guard at the south gate in the distance. And just overall, it is becoming a much more relaxed, a more comfortable set of circumstances. And so, Skadric, you kind of get that feeling, the aura from the group around you guys as y'all approach.
DM, could we kind of quickly, me and whoever else wants to go with me, go back and get Maureen. Oh yeah, Roland, you have to.
Yeah, I got to disguise the husband.
You have to disguise the husband. All right, let's go and find out what direction she wants to go when we get in town, and I'll get the information from her that we need, and hopefully we can get this dealt with quickly and without incident, and get through that gate and get her where she needs to go.
Yeah, sure, certainly. So anybody who's going to assist with that, the party kind of makes their way over to where Maureen and her husband are, and you guys begin to work on getting those circumstances situated. So you guys begin to you make Maureen invisible, like you guys had intended to. And then do whatever it was with her husband that you guys were going to do in order to disguise him or make him less noticeable, so as to separate him from Maureen or any association thereof. So
Does she have? Where does she decide she wants to go? DM.
Right. So as she's talking about it or whatever, she mentions that she does like the idea, after having thought about it or whatever, she does like the idea of the Harpers after much consideration. Either the Harpers, the Gauntlet, excuse me, or perhaps if you guys could somehow integrate her or work with the royalty that exists or the nobility that exists in Waterdeep, so as to go into hiding. So those are the ideas that she likes the most. But she mentions the Harpers specifically, and says that because she hasn't heard of any infiltration of the Harpers or doesn't know of any infiltration of the Harpers from the Dragon Cult, after the knowledge that she's gained from it.
Has
the-
Ricard and Roland already walked off? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
to go and take care of that which she was going to take care of. Yeah, so they have. Was there something you were going to do?
I was gonna remind them because I had it in my head, so I wasn't trying to forget.
Got you. So you can make your way over to where they are.
You're right. I'll hand over the reins to Atlas. Like, good luck, pat pat, and then just hop off.
Okay.
Hey, maybe she can help with the actual hideout. Maybe she knows where the hideout is, because we know it's at hidden in an alchemy shop. Do we have a name? Maybe she knows the name of it.
Okay. This is my. Remind me which hideout you're referring to.
Which hideout are we talking?
Because there was one in the tower. I know that.
The one with
That
the
is in
dragon
the
cult.
forest. Say again.
The dragon cult.
Yeah, I know. There's like we found out about the one that was in the forest when we resurrected that body, or
Right.
that was in the forest. You're saying another one's in an alchemist shop? So I'm trying to make sure I understand. Is it the same one you were talking about? And I just misheard something.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
No, I wrote down the notes. I didn't write it, I guess, as specifically, but I have it here. There's a hideout, hidden alchemist shop.
Yeah, so anybody that Skodrick, you're specifically talking to Roland and Ricard. So the three of you make a history check real quick.
Oh Jesus.
Just to
That's
see,
fair.
or knowledge. You can either do history or knowledge. I'll give you either one. Just to see if you guys recall what it
Knowledge?
was.
Is there a
specific-
knowledge
There we go.
check? It's knowledge.
There we
Not
go.
a knowledge.
Oh, poop. This is the wrong edition. Yeah, this is
Yes.
5.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that
we're-
would be
that-
3.5.
Thank you, guys.
Intelligence. Doing intelligence.
Oh.
wait, history
It's
history or
just a-
intelligence?
Either
Or,
history or intelligence.
Okay.
okay.
Well,
Okay. I'm gonna stick with what I got.
history is intelligence based. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I got a 0 in both of those, so I think I should be fine with the 19.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, so Ricard and Roland, you guys do remember, which Skodrick is having having a bit of difficulty putting his, it's like at the tip of his tongue, but he can't quite get it out.
Literally.
You guys do recall that there was mention of a secret hideout that existed behind the cupboard of a particular alchemy shop in Waterdeep. That there was a particular cupboard that essentially opened up, and in the back of it there was hidden the entrance to one of the hideouts utilized by the Dragon Cult.
Did Tron tell us this? In a message? or-
No, I thought this was the body whose head I'm still in possession of. Am I wrong there, DM?
I am looking for that specifically, so I have the information about the hideout separate from I took it out of the regular notes and put it into some separate city notes that I have. So let me find that other portion real quick, and I'll tell you. Because with that, you would remember what the source was of this information. So give me 1 second here, and I will find it.
In my notes, it's between Barack and Daggerford.
Wait, you're saying it's between your notes of Barack and Daggerford?
Yeah.
We saw him a couple times, right? In between when we left Dragonspear, and then
So I think it wasn't a message.
yes, that was the trial. Oh, I don't know, quick, because when we left Daggerford is when we did the speak with Dead, right? Like the day we left, we did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could have been. See, this is really tricky.
Mhm.
And I know you sent a message to Trollam at some point, but I cannot recall the specifics of it. But I feel like if she had said something about a hideout, I would remember. But I don't want to swear to that.
Yeah, I'm digging through a year's worth of notes here, so
Jeez.
yeah, give me a little bit. So I'll
James
continue.
Scodrick.
I'll continue to look for that. But we'll kind of move forward here.
Okay.
So Scodrick, that's something that you mentioned to Roland and Ricard, and they had some recall about it.
Okay, we do remember that there is a hideout in the alchemist shop.
Okay. Right. So, Roland, you have a little bit of a hard time remembering the name of it, but you do remember that information. Ricard, you remember the mentions of the word or the name Two Moons Cove, an alchemist shop with a cupboard inside that opens to some stairs that go down to an underground base that exists in Waterdeep. You don't recall specifically, or if there was anything specifically said about what part of Waterdeep that this shop existed in. Though you can't, given your knowledge of Waterdeep, you can't imagine that it would be in any of the higher, higher societally, more financially stable or the higher portions of society. In those regions of Waterdeep, that you imagine that it would be in one of the regions of Waterdeep that has some of the lower class society.
Okay, just a quick note. It's like, Avery, is your cat attacking you? I couldn't tell. I saw the cat's head moving just back and forth. Like it was just like, what's going on?
Herself.
Okay.
All
right, DM. Are we talking to Mareem and her husband now, or?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are working through, making her invisible, getting all of that situated.
Okay, so I'm assuming Ricard's taking care of that. I'll ask again to her or him, just that on the way, just to get her to the Harpers in case something goes wrong and she becomes uninvisible for some reason. Do you want me to just put some dye her hair or something just as a backup plan, or do you want me to just focus on the husband? Just as a quick thing. I don't want to.
I think doing both would not be a bad idea as long as you're all right with that, Marine.
She actually mentions she says that she would definitely find some comfort in having a backup plan just in case.
Okay.
She says you never know what's going to happen.
Can I get a description of both of them, really quick? Just like I just need to know what I'm changing.
Yeah, so she's kind of she's not a scrawny woman. She's about 5'9". She has a brown curly hair. She has green eyes. And her husband is 5'11". He's got some what seems to be a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. He has a strong jaw with prominent cheekbones. He stands broad-shouldered, but you wouldn't be able to tell that right off the bat, given that he hunches a lot. His hunching, you can assume, had originally been a result of the constant stress of the last 20 years of relationship that they've been experiencing. Where when you look at him today, there does seem to be a little bit more of an air of lightheartedness, given that what was 20 years of or what he had assumed to be 20 years of failed marriage, now revealed as 20 years of deception, but specifically to the point of or with the intention of safety. And surprisingly, that's bringing him some relief. And so he seems like his shoulders are a little less weighted today.
Okay.
So go ahead, Kidron. You wanted to mention something?
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Oh, hi. Hi. He says hello. I imagine you're approaching Roland and Ricard at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Keedron.
Oh,
So are you being loud saying, I'm like, quiet, shh.
oh, I'm sorry.
We're trying to do this without drawing attention over here. Kidron,
Oh. I turn my shoulder and I walk away really quickly. Shut in and walk away.
Okay. All right.
I do begin to pray to Lathander as soon as I get clear of the situation.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and try and
Well.
make that. Try and make that roll again. Oh no, you did. I see the roll come through. Make another one. Another D100 roll.
Okay.
Ooh. Myself.
Okay, so that's kind of the description that you have, Roland, as you're working with them or whatever.
Oh, look at that.
That's much better than the previous roll.
So I was just gonna ask, his hair. How long is his hair? Does he let it grow out, or is it short?
It's a little. It's kind of a mid length, so it's not long hair where you could pull it back into a ponytail. So it's about 4 inches or whatever, long enough to be disheveled. Very very messy going on. A bit matted on one side.
Okay, I'm gonna try to clean him up a bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I have enough time to give him a shave.
Can I
don't
assist with prestidigitation, DM?
Yeah, sure,
Because
certainly.
I really don't have to do anything for Maureen. Like, it's literally once I'm ready to cast, it's
Okay.
done basically.
Sure.
So
Can you clear up facial hair? Can you
let
get rid of that?
me
I don't
see.
know
I'm
if this
going
thing.
to
Use the wand of fireballs to
I've
send
never
it off.
heard of.
no. We don't. I wouldn't use the wand of fireballs for that anyway. Jeez, gonna blow his head off.
I'm just asking, man. I don't know what you got.
No. I mean, I could burn it off. Yes, just very simply, but it
I
no
mean,
need
I
for
could probably
but
cut it off with the dagger, but I don't want to have to slip and cut his ear off.
no.
So
I mean,
Or
I can
summon another
clean him
demon.
up though.
yeah, make his clothes a little bit less filthy. Try to get him to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
okay.
So I start doing my prestidigitation routine that I normally do to clean people up and get them all nice and spick and span.
Fantasy makeover.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to. What color is his hair naturally? Does he have gray hair or anything like that, or is it like a?
So it's black, but it's heavily peppered, salt and peppered. So he has, like this around the sides, the back of it. It's got a lot of gray growing into it.
Do I have any gray dye? I don't know why I would have gray dye, but I have some dyes, and I think in the disguise kit.
So gray would be one of the dyes that you would not have, but you do
I have white and
black
black?
and white dye. So
Okay,
you
I will
could
mix that
gray
together.
dye.
I will try to get it to the consistency to look like it's actually hair, not. Okay, I'm gonna try to make him go full gray.
Okay.
And then, like I said, make him look kind of, cleaner. I guess after Ricard does that, but then also try to adjust his posture. Make him look more noble looking, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So am I doing the disguise kit roll for that?
Yes. Okay. So with your disguise kit rolls, so you can either make rolls individually for Maureen and then her husband, or you can do one roll kind of overarching all of it. So I'm going to let you make that decision if you so desire.
Okay. All right.
But you have to decide before you roll.
Yeah. Right now my disguise kit is charisma. Can I switch that to wisdom?
No.
No. Okay. Here we go. I'm just gonna do it separate.
Okay. So make a roll for Maureen and then a roll for her husband. Do each roll with disadvantage because you're trying to do this whilst jostling around because of travel.
Okay. I couldn't wait till we come to a stop.
Can I do a perception to see if, are they on a cart?
It's like, I would try to. I would try to.
You don't have to
See if
roll.
there's anything I can do to help Roland, and you tell me. You can paint my world there.
Let me see. Let me see what kind of. Let me take a scroll through your skills list real quick and just kind of see.
Oh, that was a one. I didn't Sorry, Roland.
Let me take a look at your. Now you do have disguise kit as a tool of proficiency, so if you wanted to aid, to aid Roland, you could.
Could I do that then?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing two.
Essentially, that would negate the disadvantage that you had.
Okay, so just two straight rolls.
Yes.
Okay. So for Maureen, if she has longer curly hair, I'm either gonna tie that up, or I'm gonna. I don't know if she's comfortable with me cutting it. I feel like she wouldn't be, but I'm gonna try to adjust her hair in a way so it doesn't look like her normal hair, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
If I had to dye it. Anyway, here we go. Oh, great, fantastic. That's for the husband. I was doing it husband first and her. If that's clear. Or did you have it? I don't know. If you need me to report it or not.
Somehow
That's
they
literally
look
how I was
exactly how they last look.
Because I was talking to him when I was doing it, so that's why in my mind that's how I was thinking it. But I didn't say it out loud. But I can
re-roll, but pick which one you're doing first.
Okay,
let me know which one you're doing first.
Starting with the husband.
Okay, starting with the husband. So re-roll.
Okay. All right. Holy shit.
Okay.
Okay, and then for her. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you do exactly what you're expecting to do, and as you sit back and you look at him, it's almost like looking at a work of art that came out exactly how you wanted it to come out. It's like, man, he is, spot on. Like the look
I want to play this really flamboyantly, but I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not doing it.
You do it however you want to, man. No offense here. No offense taken.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It is very beautiful. Gorgeous. Let me see. 23 and a 14 roll.
Right.
Oh wow.
So for her, you do kind of get the desired look, though some of the features are still recognizable. So for instance, like she's got pretty curly hair that is long, but because it's curled, it bunches up a bit. So you pull it back and kind of put it up, but even in putting it up, there's still that bunch of curly hair on the other side of the tie. And you do some things to dye it, and where it is a pretty consistent dye throughout her entire head of hair or whatever. It's not as far off color as you wanted it to be.
Mhm.
It is still a different color than what it was, but you could definitely, if somebody were to know that she had dyed her hair, it would be like, oh yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So it's not far from her natural color.
And okay, so he looks exactly how I envisioned him to look.
Right.
Okay. I don't have any glasses, but I would like to put glasses on him if I can find some. But I don't think anybody. Do they have glasses here? The glasses a thing in this, or is that even a conception? I didn't even know if it was. But I was just curious.
Yeah, sure.
No one has glasses unless someone take out Erwin's glasses from off his body. Ricard, you take Erwin's glasses. I feel like you take Erwin's glasses. No. Okay.
Ricard is a pack rat. I mean, I could go back and look.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to state that Skadric did not pick up the reins again. He just got in the back of the cart and took a nap to fight his exhaustion.
Oh wow.
Okay. Are you sleeping in your armor?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it.
Make a Constitution save.
So it's a save this time?
This is too funny. 2 points of exhaustion. Oh God.
Also, one of the Skadric, as you're laying down, you look out the back of the cart, and you see off in the distance, westward from where you guys are, traveling quite rapidly on horseback, one singular person by himself.
Hey, Atlas, you see that guy? Okay. Hey.
Atlas has stepped away.
Hey, Keegan.
He's returned.
Hey, Atlas, do you see that guy running up on us?
Yeah, guys.
So
Hang on, we need to do something about this.
So he's not. He's not. So this particular gentleman is not riding up on you guys. He is just riding off in the distance, seemingly not making any note of you guys whatsoever, but definitely heading southwards. So continuing at the direction that you guys are continuing or whatever, he'll probably pass within 200 feet of you guys. Atlas, you can make a perception check with advantage since Skadric is pointing him out. Okay, so as you're looking out, Atlas, one of the things that you note, it's kind of hard to tell his specific features, but on horseback, at like full sprint on the back of this horse, you see a young man off in the distance. Make an intelligence check real quick.
Oh my God.
I use a flash of genius and add 4 to that.
Okay. So one of the things that you think about is just your set of circumstances and the possibilities therein, and what that could mean. Putting all of the evidence together, etc. One of the things you find surprising is if that is in fact who you think it is, that it's very strange that that person is on horseback. It wouldn't be something that person would normally even consider, at least not without a severe amount of harnessing. That is, but you don't note that there's any specific harnessing around that person. So there's definitely some curiosity that you're experiencing right now in regards to the situation. But given the details, it's definitely you presume it's a possibility, though you're not 100% sure because of the appearance that person is putting off right now.
Do you recognize him?
Interesting. So they're coming this way, like near us, or just like?
Well, he's riding off in the distance, so he's like passing you guys. He is probably westward. He's more towards the coast. He's westward of you guys, about 200 feet, maybe 220 feet. And he is traveling at a very high speed. Go ahead, Kidron.
How far away are we from him?
220 feet, roughly.
If I was to dash, would I be able to be in shouting distance?
It's something that you could try, but make a perception check for me, Kidron,
Okay.
specifically. Go ahead, Atlas. What else were you going to say?
I was just gonna say it isn't somebody that I immediately recognize. This just kind of looks familiar.
Shit.
Right.
Oh, shit.
There's some familiarity there. So Kidron, as you're looking around or whatever, you see Skadric point out this particular person on horseback riding off in the distance, and you note Skadric pointing him out to Atlas, and you begin to hear their conversation or whatever. You make a couple of deductions of your own, and you look off in the distance to see the young man riding on horseback, and you begin to judge the distance. You think that if you were to dash, you could certainly close the distance, and you feel that if you shouted loud enough or shouted and perhaps used some spell to assist you in enhancing your voice, given that if you have a spell that would do that, you could definitely convey a message to him.
I still see him, right?
But I'm looking at yes, you do. I'm looking at your spell sheet, and it doesn't look like.
If I actually use a Misty Step towards the person,
Yeah,
can I
but
do that? I do.
holy shit.
That would definitely help you close the distance some, for sure.
I can close on 30 feet. 30 feet on my intended space that I see. Can I do that, DM?
Yeah.
Okay,
So you can move yourself 30 feet. Now, you wouldn't be able to move your horse as well. It would just be you.
Okay, so I drop Kedron.
Your elk.
I'm sorry, not Kedron. Keerith. So I drop Keerith, my elk, and then I teleport that 30 feet.
Okay.
And as I drop that close the distance, how close am I?
So after the Misty Step, you would be 190 feet, and then you could dash and close another 60 feet on foot.
Closer would I be? Sorry.
That's close.
130 feet. It's pretty close.
Atlas,
just type to me what you would like to say.
DM, can I ask, just to finish up what we were doing in the back, I want to know if Marine was willing to come and separate from her husband, or if she wanted to stay with him as we entered the city specifically.
Okay, and she mentions that she would like to stay within sight of him. She doesn't want to get too far from him, just for like the security feeling that she has about him or whatever. But she is willing to separate to an extent.
Okay. I look over at Roland. Like, Roland, do you think maybe we could just have their cart closer to us then? How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
that's fine.
Okay. So, all right. Cool. Then that's what our plan is. So that's what we'll be doing. Is just bringing
Okay.
them up, and that's where we close that out. If that's okay.
Okay. And Kidron, you're going to close that distance, and then shout. You said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'd like to say, young master, you have word yet to spread. Please stop and speak with us as loud as I can.
Okay. Make a quick persuasion check.
Oh no. Okay. Let's see. We'll see how it goes.
The determined look on this person's face is definitely.
Oh my goodness! No, I rolled a 9.
So you shout. He looks in your direction, but doesn't seem to change directions at all. Atlas, I didn't. Oh, I did get that message from you. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess at this point in time, I just like put my hand up, point it in that person's direction.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, right. Just maintaining the trend.
Yeah.
Or regaining the trend, I should say, because we've had quite a few 20s.
Right.
Or nat 20s, I think. Okay, so he definitely begins to pass within that range.
Someone you know, Atlas.
It just seems so familiar, It's so weird. But I can't quite, make out exactly who this is.
So your friend? No.
No, my only close friend is, this chick from. She's from the west side of town, but it's okay. We don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay. I won't bring it up. I'll make sure Roland doesn't hear about it.
I wish I was there to hear that. Oh man.
Atlas is just gonna,
Oh my.
just put his hand on Scodrick's shoulder and just be like, "Say anything."
I'm not.
Oh my. Second.
I don't hear dragon wings flapping in the sky, do I, DM?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Guys, I actually got in contact with this person. So, yeah, I asked, where are they going with such haste? And they said that, in very particular words, said that they're going to settle an, what did they say, incredulous dispute.
Does the vocabulary sound familiar?
Make an intelligence check.
DM, where myself and Ricard, are we still away from Scodrick?
Yeah, so as you guys are going through the disguise process, all of this is taking place at the same time.
Gotcha.
Again, this is one of those situations, Scodrick, where there seems to be some familiarity though not specific. Go ahead, Kidron.
Myself, where am I located?
Okay, so as this person continues to pass southward, he's then closing the distance ever so slightly, coming closer to you. So, Kidron, that puts you at about 70 feet from where he is.
Okay. Darn. So close.
How far does thaumaturgy go? Let me read that.
Yeah, sure, go for it. So, Ricard and Roland, as you guys begin to wrap things up, go ahead.
It's only 30 feet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. As you guys begin to wrap things up, you're bringing Maureen with you back to your cart. Did you guys want to go ahead and make her invisible now, or did you want to wait until you were closer to the gate?
How far from the gate are we? Like, not just in distance, but in like the travel time and the speed we're going.
Got you. So at the speed that you guys are going right now, you think that you'll be there within the hour.
How long does invisibility last?
It lasts for an hour. So
Yeah,
ideally,
let's
I
follow
would
up
want
on
to.
that.
First off, I wouldn't want her on a separate horse.
Sure.
I would want her on one of our horses, so preferably mine, because then I can react. I can re-up invisibility immediately if need be.
Okay. Go ahead, Roland.
Roland just thinks to himself. I know you guys aren't having an affair, but if I didn't know better, I'd say you're definitely having an affair. Like this, if I'm her husband, I'm dejected by the sight of this. I just think that to myself.
Oh, and don't forget, DM, we're supposed to keep, their cart. He's supposed to move up in line with us,
right.
at a small distance. Whatever distance we agree with her, she's comfortable with. Just if you just keep that in mind, that way you could never know when it might be important. But as long as it's no closer than 30 feet, I'm fine with it. So as long as they're good with that. And so we're about an hour away, but we can already see the city. Like we can already at our current pace. You said, is that right? Okay.
It's rapidly approaching. Like you guys are making pretty good time
within the hour.
Right.
All right. I would wait until we're within what I would consider eyesight, where they could identify each of us. So I would maybe like 5 or 10 minutes away.
Sure.
Whatever would be, in your estimation, within eyesight of individuals.
Okay. Sure.
And I would have her behind me on the horse.
Close enough so that you can start making out facial features and things like that.
Yeah. Where if they could look and I would think reasonably be able to see there's somebody on the back of my horse, type of thing.
Okay.
Directly from the city guard. So.
Sure.
I'm just gonna lean over to the husband because I'm assuming he's near me. I'm like, I wouldn't worry about any of that. Don't fret. I'm sure nothing's happening. Confident.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna roll deception for that.
Okay. Roll. Go ahead, Kidron. What are you gonna say?
No.
Okay.
I was just laughing. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna.
If anything, yes, openly.
That's
a statement. Yes.
Do
you believe me?
He begins to get a slightly worried look on his face.
I'm gonna turn and give a little profile of Ricard's handsome features and just kind of.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Distance. And think fondly of. I look happy because I'm thinking fondly of the memory of killing Lord douchebag.
Oh no.
Hey Atlas. Hey Atlas. What did
Oh no.
What did your body look like?
It's a weird
One
question to ask someone.
One moment.
You were human, right? That's what you said?
Oh yeah, no, I was definitely human. I mean, I would say that maybe I got dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. I used to wear all brown.
You sound hot.
That's great.
Oh my god.
The chat can't see it. He
No,
just
the
posted,
chat can't see it.
he posted a picture of what is that? What movie is that from? Is that What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Is that Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is hot. It really is. Isn't it not? No.
Does his description match the writer?
As he begins to describe his previous self, it does eerily come close to what the writer that you're seeing has.
All right. Shot in the dark. Cast and sending to Ofni.
Okay. Just yeah, send to me what you would like to say to him.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So you guys are making really good time and find yourselves that distance that you were talking about, Ricard, where you're beginning to see facial features, et cetera, et cetera. And as you're approaching, you're noting that there's about 150 guard standing out here. It is a significant contingency of guardsmen. Go ahead, Roland.
Cast invisibility.
I'm gonna ask Ricard, is it normal for there to be that many guards out here?
DM, I would assume this is not.
Right. This is
How
not.
big is the increase? Like double?
Yeah, it's typically maybe 20 or 30 guardsmen that are standing around the gate. In this case, it's like triple that, or quadruple. It's a significantly larger. I mean, it would be more than quadruple that. It would be 5 times the amount. But
No, Rowan. It's normally there's 20, 30 guards. This is over 100. Did we get at this point? I assume with that period of time you mentioned passing, we're back with Atlas and Skodrick and everybody, right? DM, is that correct?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I was just typing back to Skodrick, so I was slightly distracted for a second.
With that period of time passing, are we all together again?
Yes.
Up at the front. Okay.
Yes.
Is Kidron still gone? Like, do we have any idea what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, or can we just start that interaction now?
Kidron is straggling significantly. He's resummoned his elk and is trying to catch up. So he's kind of lagging behind. So,
hey guys, what's up? What's we got everything squared away back there. It looks like we're going straight to and I look over at the gnome. Cast prestidigitation again for some wind. It looks like we're going to the stopping at the Harper's first. As long as y'all don't have any objection to that.
I might not be too keen on talking to the Harpers, given our previous discussion about certain people revealing certain information about certain people's past relations with organizations. Might just sit that conversation out.
No. I think it's very important for you to be there. I kind of lean back to Maureen and go ask her if she finished that list real quick, and if she does, to pass it to me, and then just kind of wait for Atlas and Skodrick to kind of chime in on what's. So what? Where's Kidron? Like, what's going on up here, y'all?
And Maureen mentions that she has not completed it yet, but can pass you what she has if you would like.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, and she takes the piece of parchment, rolls it up, and passes it to you. So Atlas, make a perception check. Atlas and Skadric, make a perception check real quick.
All right.
And I just kind of look over in Skadric and just not even really like looking directly at him. Just as we're going along, I'm kind of focusing on guards, people, and anything around us, and just go, "Hey, Skadric, could you maybe cast sending to the High Lady and let her know that we're coming to the Harper's hideout? That way, they can be prepared for us."
Does he see me like casting while he's asking me?
So you definitely note, Ricard, as you're looking over to Skadric or whatever, that he definitely seems to be a little preoccupied.
Oh, so I kind of just let that trail off as I'm. Oh, okay. And I'm just gonna start observing closely. And just summon my pseudo dragon back to sit on my shoulder.
Okay.
Guys, we have an issue.
What's up?
Oh no!
As you guys are all riding to, you're rapidly approaching the guard that's all standing there. Anyways, carry on.
Okay.
I want to. Okay, slow down. What's going on?
All
So,
right.
like-
I just saw this guy riding by on his horse. Atlas looked like he might have recognized him. And he said he sent him a message, which was really weird, and I thought it sounded like something like we might have heard before from Offney. So I sent a sending message to Offney asking where he was. He said he just left Waterdeep and he may need our assistance. So
I'm just
Oh, jeez.
so many questions.
I know.
We literally told him we were on our way there. He couldn't wait 5 minutes
Everybody,
or
roll a
anything.
perception check real
Anything.
quick.
All right, perception.
Perception.
Yeah, roll another perception check real quick.
Another one for me and Atlas. Okay.
Yes, This is a separate.
Okay.
Oh, these are great
Can I
rolls.
add my pseudo dragon in on there? Or
Yeah, certainly.
okay.
I mean, he can do a perception from your shoulder, so.
Okay, cool.
Just want
He
to
said-
point out we were.
he also
we were
said
this close to getting inside Waterdeep. Finally,
He also
Um,
said he may need our assistance.
of course he does. Of course, Roland's about to have a conniption. Just
And tell him we're entering Waterdeep to come back,
I told him we were
Was
at the
that
south
him?
gate.
riding away.
Yeah, I feel like it was.
Jeez.
Roland's this close to just saying "fuck it," let him go. This close.
Oh, jeez.
Think about your friend.
My body, and he's leaving with it.
I know, but why? Why?
So as you guys note,
We have a whole situation to deal with.
it's not hard to tell. So like Skadric, Roland, Ricard, you guys all know it. Kidron, I didn't see a roll in there from you. If you wanted to roll a
Sorry.
perception check as well.
Still chasing them down.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So, given the circumstances, you guys kind of, get the sense you're looking around and see some jostling from amongst the guards that, the guard that are all at the south gate or whatever. Kidron, you look, and as the pace of the convoy has begun to slow a little bit, you note two things. One, as you're scoping out the area, Kidron, you turn and you look and you see that the young rider who had made his way past you guys previously has turned and begun to make his way back to where you guys are. or back in the direction from whence he came, which is now much closer to where you guys are, given that you guys are approaching the south gate. As you turn forward to scope out the direction you're heading in, you note that all of the guard have begun to move around a bit and turn, and have taken note of the fact that you guys have slowed your pace, and they are now beginning to make their way towards the rest of you. In and among them, you see quite a few guard that seem to be of the basic, rank, towards or further towards where the gate is. But approaching in your direction, there sits quite a few who seem to be of much higher rank. And as you're looking in and among that crowd, you definitely see a bit of diversity of class. Now, when I say that, I'm referring to capabilities as well. So you see a couple of the people there who appear to be dressed as wizards, not just soldiers. There is, one politician in and among that group, and everybody else in and among the soldiers. They all have a pretty solemn look on their faces, and they are all beginning to approach. So the entire group of 150, roughly, have begun to make their way towards you guys.
When you say
So
you
my
got,
concern, as a Keydron, I'd
Towards
sit
the
here and I
entirety
look
of the
to my-
convoy. I'm sorry.
Of course,
I'm
so
sorry,
I
say that
look. What I would ought to be most concerned about would be if anybody was reaching for weapons. Myself, at this exact moment.
Okay. From what you see, there doesn't appear to be any move towards aggression. You don't know you don't see any signs that would signify you guys are about to be attacked or anything.
Okay.
There definitely seems to be an aura of seriousness present in and among that group.
What happened
Yes.
here?
That would be it. And
As you guys approach and they are approaching the rest of you, you guys note that the convoy traveling with you are beginning to become a bit restless. They're looking at the approaching group, and their stress level is rising a little bit. As you guys are approaching, the soldiers. Go ahead, Kidra.
I would yell to the group, to the convoy, "Stand easy!"
Okay.
That's actually it. Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like with my my stag Kiris, I would actually try to get at least 2 feet or maybe even 4 feet in front of the column to like kind of like trot out in front of them.
Got
like
you out in
Sandy-
front of the. Okay.
Yes. Yep, and kind of like at that moment would say, "Stand easy!" Like don't draw weapons. Everyone, we're fine. We're okay.
Okay.
Tough feel.
All right. So you mentioned that, and you make the move towards the front of the group that you're traveling with. The guards and everything don't really seem to respond to your particular statement. One of the guardsmen, though, does separate himself, so he guides his horse kind of out into the middle to move towards you guys. The formation, as you guys are looking, is a bit of a U shape at this point. So there are basically two rows of guards, and they kind of loop around towards the back. The grouping of guards that's closest to the south gate. They kind of form like a curvature. As they approach you, the horsemen on either side begin to make their way out, as if to guide the group that you're traveling with into the middle of all of them.
Can I ask you a
And
quick question?
uh-huh.
How is this something I've ever even seen done before?
It
Like in
is
common travel? Like, is this
so this would be something that is reminiscent of and anybody who had any kind of training, like militaristic training, or anybody who has seen. So essentially, this is reminiscent of um, if one group is essentially trying to surround another group for whatever the reason may be. Typically, this is one of the situations or formations that they would take in order to do that. So it definitely.
A pincer move.
DM,
Uh-huh.
can I roll for stealth? Just gonna separate myself a little bit from the group real quick.
Sure.
Keep an eye on everybody and make sure they're still in line of sight. But
Sure.
And since I've probably seen it before, is that what we're doing? Is that what I noticed they're doing? They're trying to surround us, our group.
Well, just the entire group that you're traveling with. But
And
yes, that is something that you can take note of.
I would like to say stay down the center.
Okay, you're addressing the rest of the people that are traveling with you. Okay. So Kidron, as you've taken point at this point, the one horseman or the one rider who now, as you're regarding him, he definitely seems to be pretty well decorated. He approaches you and he removes his helmet. He is wearing a helmet. He's got a full get up, and his helmet has a very, very large feather coming out of the top of it. And he approaches you and he says, please just be at ease and be cooperative. We've received word that there's been much Dragon Cult activity. We're just checking to be sure. He says, please just bear with us as we carry out this procedure. And he says that to you directly.
Does anybody else, do any of us hear it?
Y'all can roll a perception check.
Yeah.
God, man almighty.
What I end up doing is going to the first wagon,
Okay.
and then relay periodically throughout the wagons, and throughout, and start saying, I try to make it, I try to vocalize it each time that I head to each wagon, doing checks.
Who do they think gave him that word?
The security checks. Do not be fearful. Stay your weapons is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Doing security checks. Not be fearful. Doing security checks. That's what I'm doing as I trot on the line.
Okay.
Back all the way to the end of our train.
Okay. Go ahead, Ricard.
as soon as he lets us know that,
Sure.
or we hear it, I'd like to approach, but keep a very respectful distance from the. I assume do I recognize him as an officer or?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is he of the? Which group is he a member of? I would assume the.
So he specifically looks like guard.
Is there a mix of guard and watch?
Yes,
here?
there's definitely a mix of guard and watch here, but he
so I-
specifically looks like a guard.
Okay, so I want to keep a respectful distance from him.
Okay.
For multiple reasons, to make sure I don't, I'd say, well met. My name is Ricard Bethrel. I'm a member of the traveling companions that have been protecting and helping this caravan get to Waterdeep safely. I understand you're very familiar with the Code of the Dragon activity. We have had many a fight with them, some of which between Daggerford and here. I must let you know, we have captured paraphernalia from them, and we also have a member appeared to be a defecting red wizard that I'm planning on delivering to the Harpers, and turning in my letters for to be fully recognized as a member.
And he says,
Anything we need to do to cooperate, please just know that we will be happy to. It's been a long road.
he's like, we are grateful for the cooperation. As you guys are looking and listening, so Roland, you definitely hear the exchange between him and Kidron. Roland, you also hear when Ricard approaches him and begins to have that little bit of exchange. And it definitely becomes a lot more clear. So the rest of you hear the exchange happen between Ricard and this particular gentleman. Roland, one of the things that you note as you're just kind of looking around and listening intently, that as you guys are approaching into and becoming intertwined with, or as you're moving into the center of this formation, they are kind of surrounding you. You look and you see these 3 or 4 people that are dressed as wizards. They've all begun performing some hand movements or whatever, almost as if they are ritual casting.
I cast counterspell. No.
Do I do this?
And you, DM,
At
just for
level
clarity,
100.
you said only Roland noticed that? I did not
Right.
notice it? Okay.
Right.
Do I have any idea what they're doing? Have I ever seen anything like this?
You see a pearl and an alpha there.
Make a wisdom check.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
fuck. Okay.
Got a 9, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not 100. You definitely know that they're casting, but you're not 100% sure what they're casting.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak over to Ricard.
Okay.
And be like whisper in his ear, kind of trying to freak him out. Like the wizards are casting something. Then
Okay.
Ricard, so if you want, you can make an Arcana check, but with advantage.
Okay.
Okay. So the 3 or 4 wizards, they as you see them, give me 1 second. I'm looking up my specifics here. So essentially, what you see them doing is using each of the various components, hand motions as well as verbal, and you see some material items in their hands, are representative of the creation of a anti-magic zone. Essentially, is what they're what they're doing. That's what they're ritual casting.
Okay. As soon as I realize that, I'm gonna also let the guard know. There is, while noticing that, but not trying to tell him. I see you're not elaborating on what I've witnessed, but just say to him there is also a woman that we are trying to protect and keep hidden. She's sitting on the back of my horse. I would. I'm willing to reveal her to you, but we're trying to protect her from prying eyes and get her to the Harpers so that she can provide valuable intel towards infiltrating the Cult of the Dragon stronghold and bringing their evil reign of terror on the Sword Coast to an end.
And he looks for a moment, and then he kind of looks at the back of your horse in the direction of where she is sitting. Obviously not seeing her, but he says, understood, and he says, if she would be willing, we would gladly keep her disguise, keep her in this position, if she would be willing to go with one of my most trusted men here. We would escort her. He would escort her into the city to a place that she would be safe, so that you can reconvene with her later.
Do I hear this?
Yes. At this point, all of you guys have gathered around, and essentially the traveling has come to a halt. And you.
I
Yes,
just
go ahead.
want to insight check him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go,
same here. As
Okay.
I just, without going like saying it out loud, I can't in good conscience let her leave my possession, like leave my
Right.
Go
ahead, Kidra.
Leave the protection of our group.
I also too. I would actually not leave her side. I would state very justly, very truthfully. Just no. Not leave her side.
And he looks thoughtfully, and he's like,
the guard can join. I will as well. That's what I would say.
And I would like to chime up before the guard goes, gives a response, and I would say, we are the Dawncasters.
I know very, very strongly.
We have fought the Cult of the Dragon from Greenest to Berdusk. We have engaged their dragon kind all along this road. And we have agreed to protect her and get her to where I can guarantee her safety. And I can't in good conscience let her leave our company until we have followed through with that, with no disrespect to you intended. And I would like to roll a persuasion with that, if that's okay,
Yeah.
DM.
Go for it.
Did he seem genuine though?
So as you guys are looking at him and just kind of scoping out and trying to get a feel for him, there is definitely an air of sincerity. So what he's talking about is definitely he's definitely being honest. One of the things that you note, though, as you guys are looking at him, is there is quite a bit of concern there and skepticism over the entirety of the group that you guys have been traveling with, or whatever. So, and at this point also, Atlas and Skodrick, since you guys had been engaging back and forth specifically about that particular rider, you guys know it's not hard to tell. You look back and you see him. He is keeping his distance, but observing the circumstances. So he has essentially repositioned himself, made his way back to where you guys are, and positioned himself off in the distance so that he can be observant and almost be within earshot to try and tell what's going on, but without making it seem like he's a part of the group that you guys are a part of. Um,
Can I try to send him a message since we just saw him? If he's
Yeah.
close enough. All
Sure.
I want to ask is what his name is.
Yeah, so and I'm gonna shoot you back a message.
These nuts.
Brought to you by Planners.
Not
Not
copyrighted by any.
Not
Oh, I
sponsored.
sent that to the wrong person too.
Not sponsored. Ooh, what did I get to learn?
Oh, I just sent it. Did I just do it again?
Oh
I
yeah,
just-
you did. I'm not
Oh
looking
my
though.
God. That's not what I was gonna send, and it definitely. I feel like I ruined it for myself.
Not
It
just
wasn't nearly as enjoyable.
it's a joke too. Not just not sponsored. Not
Um,
sponsored by.
That's not
And
what
we
it
could-
says.
Anyway,
They better drop us a check for throwing a plug in like
Mm.
that.
I'd like to not sponsored check. Not sponsored. Thank you. What I love about our DM right now for the viewers is that it's always literally a roll of the die. Each scenario is different.
Oh, I got you. Well, thanks, man. Okay.
If there's any way for me to get through there.
To where he is?
Yeah, I presume we're just surrounded by guards completely.
Yeah, they are quickly enclosing you. You could try to run through them if you wanted to.
I don't think I'm going to try to run through them.
I'll make that your call.
Do I notice Skadric and Atlas reacting to this individual at all?
So I'm looking at Skadric, and I'm just going to say, that's Ulfden. That's who that is.
So that's
It's
your
my
body.
heart.
That's your
Yeah.
body.
We need to go, get him.
Yes.
How do we get...
This is a sticky situation we are in.
So the guardsman that's sitting before you and Kidron Ricard, he is processing the information that you've just told him about Maureen, obviously without saying her name, and he thinks for a moment, and he says, I see. He says, what we're doing must still be done. He says, what we would ask, or what I would ask, is perhaps if you could throw something over. And he's beginning to say this. He comes closer to you, and he's beginning to say this in more of a whispered tone. If you could throw something over her to hide her, so that no one can see her, he says, I understand the intent to maintain her safety, and he says, and I respect that as a soldier. He says, but we have to take all precaution we can so as to prevent any catastrophe. He says, I would also ask that if you are in fact the Dawncasters, if you would willingly separate yourselves from the rest of this group once entering Waterdeep and come with us.
I look over at Roland. Do I see any concern on your face?
Quite a bit actually. I mean, well, actually, okay, I got the mask on, so probably not. but I mean, if you see my hand, I'm fidgeting my fingers or something, trying to.
Make an insight. Ricard, make an insight check
Okay.
and see if you can tell. He is concerned. There is.
Is he concerned because he's a shady individual, or is he concerned because he thinks they're going to do something
Wow.
bad?
Wow. I take
Hey, if
all
I
the
rolled
offense
down
to the
insight, do I
That's
know
fine.
that?
That's fine.
Yeah, you would know that.
Okay. So, Roland, which are you
Just-
concerned?
I could just okay. I'm concerned by the surrounding of the group, you know. And then-
that's not what I was asking.
Oh, what were you asking? Concerned
Are
about?
you concerned because you're shady? Or are you concerned because you think they will do something bad to all of us? Like they are the bad guys.
I'm not gonna say they're bad guys. I think that they're if I can even say this, I don't know how much of a description I can give, but I mean I'm assuming they're being overly precautious because of all the Dragon Cult activity. But I also feel like this kind of lockdown, quarantine, whatever the hell they want to call it, we got a bunch of people around us that are obviously agitated. And if anyone in here is Dragon Cult and they discover it, then they're going to probably lock us all down until they can just figure out who is and isn't, whatever, right? Then we have the whole thing with the girl. And I mean, he says one thing. I don't know if the guy he wants her to go with is trustworthy. And then I got
Are you guys? You guys are saying this.
no. It's just my
This
internal
is what you're
thoughts.
conveying.
My
If
internal-
you're okay with
like,
him conveying all these details,
Yes, this is why
that's up to
this is
you,
why I'm
Ian.
asking.
I can wipe it out. You just
I'm not
tell me what
actually-
allowed to know.
But he's curious about my state of mind
So you're
and try.
getting the general.
it's
you're
not-
getting the
it's
gist of all of
Me,
this.
me being shady is not. I can probably get out of a situation in which I'm being shady. I have no problem trying to lie or bribe somebody. You guys should know this.
So
Okay,
just to sum it up, what I'm getting is Roland's
it's a lot of shit happening right now.
Roland's paranoid, not unwarranted, but
Yeah.
Roland's just generally afraid of not them all being bad guys, but they're
The
in many
potential-
different directions where we could get associated with something bad, or
Right.
okay. So all right, well,
Too much shit happening right now.
did my insight my insight of the guy doesn't really give me anything that makes me paranoid of him.
So he does not have any. You don't get the sense from him that there is any maliciousness that exists. He absolutely does not seem to be or present himself to be, perhaps someone who is of the cult who has infiltrated or anything like that. There is definitely no ill intent towards this traveling party or whatever. He is absolutely concerned. He is absolutely being precautious, and he is carrying out orders that he's been given. That is absolutely the sense that you get from your insight.
So I respond to him and tell him, quietly, so that of course Marine can hear, but not really anybody else around our immediate area. That I understand their caution, and I will agree to it as long as the rest of my party is willing to. As long as the rest of the Dawncasters are okay with it. And it would be us, the one we're protecting, and our cart, along with an additional cart that is also somebody that we're protecting. And those are the only people we're taking responsibility for. Once all these people are now safe to Waterdeep, all the caravan members, if we have had, unfortunately, did have issues with Coda Dragon having infiltrated. We believe we rooted them all out, but hopefully, your thorough investigation will reveal that to be true. If not, then so be it. And what must be done must be done. What the questions I have for you are: where would we be going, and when would we be allowed to continue upon our way to the Harpers?
And he says, perhaps it's best for me not to mention now in and among this group where exactly you would be going to, but it would definitely be a safe place. And he says, and your allowance to continue on to the Harpers. Actually, the Harpers are involved in a portion of what is taking place here, what has transpired. And he says, and so
to that DM, like I visually relax some.
Okay. And he says, in fact, he says, High Lady Solaria arrived only this morning and has made us aware of some information that we would like to consult with you and your group with. Kidrin, go ahead.
Is relaxation, did I notice it?
Did you notice Ricard's relaxation? Roll an insight. But you can roll it with advantage.
Well,
Like,
shit, doesn't matter.
I was not trying to hide it at all.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay. So, yeah, it's a noticeable relaxation.
Here we go. We got 20 and 21. Did it. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
All right.
and so then the guard says a little more loudly so that the rest of the group can hear it. And does the rest of your group concede or agree to our circumstances?
Quick question. Okay,
Yep.
I'm just curious because I asked earlier. Did I notice Atlas and Skadric like looking at?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I would have tried to see what that was about.
Okay.
I guess I'm not sure how much time was
so
passing
in and
between this.
in
But I
and
was gonna
amongst
try
all
over
of this, so it's all happening within minutes of each other. So
Okay.
amongst all of this, you can have looked back and asked Skadric and Atlas. So you can go ahead and do that now.
What's going on, guys? We got a lot of stuff happening here. I'm just trying to figure out
I
what we're
know
looking at.
the guy that was on horseback running away was me. Well, Ulfni, but me. My body.
Oh, goody.
Are there any
Just
buildings
internally.
around?
Are there any what around?
Buildings that are reachable?
So you see the city gates, and in the city gates, you know that there are going to be buildings around or whatever. But there are two sets. You know specifically that there are two sets of city gates in this portion at the south gate. First, the city gate to get in, and then at the corner of the wall there is a tower. And it's a watchtower, so you can see the watchtower, and that's just inside the wall at the southernmost corner where the walls meet. The wall separating this portion of area from the coast, and then separating or closing off the city from the tradeway. And then there is a second space or a second area where, for defensive purposes, obviously, where there is a second wall inside the first wall, and there is a second set of gates. Inside that second set of gates, there is a significant number of buildings, etc. The only other building that you know of southward of here, or set of buildings that you know of, is on the coastline. There is a trading outpost, essentially, for small boats or ships and things that don't want to make it into Waterdeep or can't because they don't have the proper papers, etc., and they want to do their trading just outside of Waterdeep. So that's the closest building, is that one trading outpost southward of where you guys are now.
We need to get somebody to Ulfney or my body, but he's on the other side of the crowd. I don't know if you noticed it.
Okay. All right. So he's over there behind the guards. We're over here. There's a good chance we're not getting out of here anytime soon. So, DM, can I look at the guards that are like directly in front of where Ulfney is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just from their general look, do they look like they're poor? Do they look like they have any kind of like what do they look like? What like are they looking like they're the guards? Yes, those guards right in front of them.
They are all dressed uniformly, wearing the same armor. They are all, and that portion that has surrounded you, they are all Waterdeep City Guard. So they're all wearing the same armor. It's essentially a uniform. That's what they're.
Which ones look the most dejected or like they don't want to be there right now?
Wearing. Make a perception check.
Okay.
In the meantime, Kidron, what did you?
I announced Kirith telepathically my elk, my mount, to, and I do say openly to Atlas, I do say, what do you need?
We need to get to Ulfney.
So as he said that, I announced to Kirith, that's my mount, my stag. Telepathically, I say, take him to Ulfney.
Oh God. God, I was gonna. Oh God. Okay.
So you're dismounting and then sending your stag over to where Atlas is. So Atlas, you see Kidron dismount, and then his stag comes around to the back of the cart, beckoning with this look of beckoning on its face for you to mount, so that he can travel.
Is Scottrick right next to me?
Yes.
Do I
Do I notice this? Do I notice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on.
Ricard, you hear Kidron yell over to Atlas. You hear him yell this or whatever, and you hear Atlas yell back. The guard standing right there in front of you leans over and he says, "And who is this Ulfney you speak of?"
Oh fucking hell!
That is a very, very interesting story. I look. DM? Do I understand? Did I understand that now I know that out there is Ulfney in Atlas's old body? I go.
Yes.
He's the youngish looking man out there. He was leaving the city to try and find us, and he actually needs to come back in with us, if that's okay.
And you see him wave, and 3 of the guardsmen standing at the back
Okay.
move over.
Okay.
And, over towards Ulfney, and what you guys see, Ulfney, he doesn't make a move at all to run. Go ahead, Roland.
I'm just happy that a crisis just hopefully got averted. Out of character, I was gonna bribe somebody. I was gonna bribe him. I was just like, let's let this guy in for just a second. But okay, this works. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're on the stag anyway, but just stay there and not move.
Does he have control of the stag?
What'd you say?
So Atlas is climbing on the back of the stag.
No.
Oh my God! No.
What'd you say?
So Atlas climbs on the back of
Did I see them like wave him or whatever?
Yes. So you're starting to climb on the back of the stag while the 3 soldiers run over to where Ulfney is standing.
I'm just like.
You know what?
Are you gonna climb? You're gonna climb onto the back of the stag completely?
That's what I was gonna do, but I don't think that I intended to go anywhere.
Yes, Kirith has the orders.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Oh my God!
so Atlas, you get onto the back of the stag, and as soon as your
don't-
foot comes off
I'm
of
just
the
gonna.
back of the cart, the stag turns. Go ahead, Roland.
No, this is just my character, just like trying to stop Atlas, and I can't even do anything. I'm just like, what do you?
I mean, if you wanted to make a grab for him, you can roll a dexterity.
I don't.
See.
Okay. We're gonna.
Do a dexterity saving throw.
I'm just gonna be. We're gonna try to catch him before he gets off. Just see what, oh fuck!
Yep.
Do I get dragged off with him?
Roland's right there with me, right?
Actually, out of character.
I
And I'm
walked
trying
over
to
to him.
stop him as well because this does not need to happen.
Okay. Kidron,
All
you're
right,
saying out of
so-
character.
I was just saying that out of character. Right now, I'm sitting here and I go, I know exactly what Atlas is wanting in his, in his life. I love, I want this man
The fuck?
to find,
So
I'm gonna find his body, and suddenly we had it. Let's get it. What's going on?
So
Like,
Ricardo,
it is a deck
my
save.
passion, My passion.
yeah, we're gonna do a
to
dex
have
save.
this
See if
man.
you can
I'm gonna
grab.
be happy.
Okay.
So this is what's going on.
All right, so you're wanting him to be happy.
Kidron is going through this portion of love and passion. You have your body right now. Let's not miss it. I am a warrior. Let's have it right now. Let's have the act right now. Let's do it.
I got you. All right, so Ricardo, are you trying to grab Atlas also, or are you trying to
Yes.
grab Roland?
No, I'm trying to grab Atlas, and let me know if I don't succeed, please. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Damn it.
Okay, so Atlas, as your foot leaves the cart, the stag immediately starts to make a move to head towards Ulfney. Roland, you try to grab
I'm gonna
Atlas.
get dragged on the ground.
You begin to lose your balance. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Oh, good lord! Can't be as bad as the first one, right? As he
Ricardo,
jinxes himself.
you do
Okay.
you do grab Atlas. So Roland, you tip forward and begin to fall off the cart. However, you manage to push your feet in such a way so that your body does a complete forward rotation and you land on your feet on the ground behind the cart, between the cart and Atlas, or the stag. So Ricard, you have a hold of Atlas. Now, you're holding Atlas. You're standing on the cart. So you're a little bit stretched out here. Atlas, the stag, is beginning to move away. So I need you to decide: are you going to try and stay on the stag, or are you going to let Ricard hold you?
Oh
Wait,
my
Say,
god!
whoa. Don't go riding off half-cocked.
And they're already letting Ulfing through. I'm just not gonna go.
Okay. So
So-
you see the guardsmen have approached Ulfney at this point and are beginning to make their way back. So you do grab the reins. Make an animal handling check real quick. Okay.
Just
Ricard, make a strength check real quick.
oh
Okay.
my god!
Oh, that was a check for me to get off. Oh, okay.
No, that was a check
That's a-
for you to see if you can keep the stag from trying to
That's
move
strength.
towards Ulfney.
I see. Okay.
Check or a strength save?
You can do a strength save if you want to do a save.
Oh, that would be
Here we
amazing.
go. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so you grab the cart and you're holding the back of Atlas, and you manage to swing Atlas off of the stag onto the ground as the stag pulls out from underneath of him. And so as you're trying to move forward, go ahead, Kidron.
Do I see this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. The guard that's standing there in front of you, the officer that's standing there in front of you, Ricard, is seeing all of these events. come to pass. And he's standing there and he says, I don't know what the intention is here, or what needs to happen. He says, if you intend to cover the person you've mentioned, do so now.
Just a miscommunication.
I look at him and I hold my hands up in a very non-threatening manner. I'm very sorry. Sometimes and I look over at Keedman, sometimes our paladin is a little bit impulsive. Given time to explain who Ulfni is and who my mechanical friend here is, it will make much more sense, I promise. And I quickly pull out, I believe I have a cloak. Let me just pull out a plain cloak from my bag of holding. Not a purple one.
Yeah.
And drape it over
her old colors.
her on the
Oh,
back of
God.
the horse, and mount back up on my horse and tell him I apologize for the sudden rustle.
Okay.
Okay.
Kidron, you were going to say something?
Do I notice for Master Ricard saying so?
Yes.
I just spoke, Kirith. Yes.
Roland, were you about to say something as well?
I'm not. I should say I'm not. I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised. Just.
And I'd like to motion back to like her husband on his cart to like come on up together with us, like trying to get him to separate from the rest of the group, and
Okay.
so that we're all now kind of separated up towards the front.
Okay. The guard, the officer standing there, then turns his head and kind of nods. Just then, you guys feel a wave as if all of the magical energy that normally, courses through your bodies or whatever, suddenly leaves. Atlas, your vision goes black. You are all of a sudden surrounded in darkness. You guys see Ulfni, or the young man's body there, just kind of flop over on his horse. Ricard, the bag of holding splits open. All of its contents spilling out there beside the
Okay.
the
I'm gonna look at the guard and go, that was a very expensive mistake.
And he says, I'm sure that it can be taken care of after our consultation. What did you say?
Am I to believe that all of our gold is now just dispersed on the ground?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna dismount and now start gathering all the stuff up in the really nice
Perception
cloak.
check everybody in the surrounding area.
Sure.
Whose eyes just lit up? That's all I need to know. Who am I keeping?
Pull my shield.
Up a bitch.
Kidron, what are you saying?
I do pull my shield and I do pull my sword. Yes.
Okay.
In defense of my defense of everybody, because I just comfortable.
Also, you guys note that Kidron's stag disapparates immediately.
Yes.
As Kidron pulls his shield and sword, Kidron, please, there's no fight to be had here. If all of them meant us ill, there would be no way we would win an interaction like that. Please do not aggravate the situation more than it already has been.
So, Kidron, as you begin to pull your sword and shield, Ricard is saying this. As Ricard is saying this, two of the horseback guards, the guards that are mounted on horseback, immediately move in and jump off of their horses and move up and grab either of your arms.
Both my arms.
They're moving to grab your
Atlas,
arms.
Atlas, they're about to
Uh,
take us away.
Do I
Am
have
You
chance to
have
move
an
back?
opportunity. Well, you have an opportunity to attack if you so desire.
I don't.
However, Ricard just mentioned that. So
Maybe-
one of them grabs one of your arms and
But
removes
it
the
would-
sword
would
from
be,
it.
Would be an offensive move. I would actually try to resist their grabbing. I would actually would, yes. Because
I'm
I
going to
did.
just. Oh Lord!
Skadric,
While that's going on, I'm
Skadric,
literally just going
restrain
to be
him.
gathering
Skadric,
the
restrain Kedron.
gold and everything into that cloak so I can
Okay.
try
I don't feel magic.
and get it
Oh, you can't do anything. Just
up
can you
off
grab
the
him?
ground. DM.
Okay.
Something.
Okay. So, Roland, you're looking around to kind of regard the group to see who all's eyes just lit up, to figure out, who. As you're looking through the group or whatever, you definitely note the gnome's eyes. Jamna, she is like staring at that pile. She is like, okay, that's a particularly interesting. The rest of the group, there's quite a few people, and they've slowly begun to, as much as they can, inch their way out away from you guys, but without being able to go very far. So they're kind of caught between like, okay, what's happening right here with these guys, and we can't really go anywhere because there are guards surrounding us. So the guard then turns back and he says, has the High Lady arrived yet? And some of the people at the towards Waterdeep, some of the people kind of look back. You guys then see another group of people coming from the South Gate, or having come from the South Gate. In and among that group of people is the High Lady.
Since you destroyed my bag of holding, do you mind having somebody bring me a chest?
Okay, say that one more
With
time.
our-
The very first part of that.
I said, since you destroyed my bag of holding, if you don't mind having one of your men bring me a chest, and I have a mild bit of irritation. In my
Don't we?
voice.
We have a chest on the cart that the money was
Do
in
we
before.
still have that chest?
We didn't get rid of it. I don't think it's just
Oh,
empty.
technically,
No,
yeah, I
it's still
guess we
there.
did.
Yeah, you still have that chest.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roland. Do you
I'm
mind
just
grabbing it for me?
me.
As I'm sitting there
Yeah.
gathering up the gold off the ground, and all other possessions that were in that bag. which I
Roland
have
starts to
listed.
laugh like the Joker. Like I literally am losing my mind right now. Like,
I
I'm
look
just-
over at Skadric and go, Skadric, would you please?
Ah!
Hey, something's wrong with Atlas, guys.
Yeah, it's an anti-magic field. He just got basically put unconscious.
Okay.
Kidron, go ahead, Kidron.
Or dispel
Do
magic.
I notice all this?
Do you what?
Do I notice
Yes.
all this? I literally, I drop all guard and I kind of like look in that direction.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I'm like, what the,
I
the
grabbed that.
heck is going on?
So the High Lady rides up. And
Do I notice the High Lady?
do what?
Yeah, you know her.
Notice the High Lady?
Lady Solaria,
Yes.
the High Lady, yeah. Yeah, you notice her. You see her.
I sheathe my sword. Begin.
So
You're
you actually
restrained, bro.
you actually can't. You have a guard holding either arm, and both of them have removed your sword and shield from you.
Oh, perfect. It's even better.
The High Lady rides up, and she takes out a scroll of parchment, and she unrolls it, and she looks at you guys, and she says, "I apologize for the circumstances." She says, "There's a small consultation that we need to have, and though this is not the best place to do it." And she hands the parchment to the officer that's sitting there, and he looks at it, and he looks up, and he says, yes. And he begins to read it, and he says, for the destruction of royal experimentation, for the death of 10 of the royal guard and 1 royal scribe. And he says, and for a couple of other fallacies, there's largely going to be a discussion. Ricard Bethrel, Kidron Strongheart, Skodrick Frostfang, Roland, Master of Doors, you are all under arrest. And that is where we will end our session.
Fuck!
Now,
Well, yep.
Hold on. I literally dropped out. I'm watching it on the Twitch. I'm watching on the Twitch chat right there, and I'm like, oh, we just got arrested. We just got arrested. This is.
Oh man, stop
So-
moving around.
Oh, holy shit. Holy. And now it's echoing. Anyway, anybody have any hands on me right now?
Oh, that's it. We're done. That's the end of session.
Okay. Again, I did drop out before I could actually do anything, so I feel like I should get a reaction at the very least.
You said, "Oh shit, we're getting arrested."
Because I didn't even hear that part. Okay, my for whatever reason, it disconnected me like right when you were talking. Like you said something, I'm like, okay, and then it froze, and I was like, what the fuck? So then, like I saw on Twitch, I'm like, let me turn this up and see what's going on, and then I hear arrested. I'm like, what the fuck? So
I thought you were like in a deep sense of like,
no, I like the second I hear her say I'm under arrest, my first reaction is, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like immediately. Okay.
Me too. It was during that time that when you said that 2 guys were coming at me, that's around the time that I was making those movements. Oh man.
Okay, so
Yeah,
essentially,
Let's get that up.
yeah. Roland, I'll give you. So Roland, I'll give you a reaction at the very first part of the next session.
Okay. All right.
You got a week to figure it out, buddy.
Okay, and then what were the charges again? Just so I didn't hear the charges.
There's no charges. No charges that we can.
Oh
that we
no,
can-
there were.
There were. I heard
Yeah.
part of it. I
Yeah,
heard
there
the
were
I heard
charges.
the killing of guards.
and a scribe.
So I,
Before we were actually being charged at.
Yeah, so he was reading the parchment, and he said, for the destruction of royal experimentation, for the death of 10 of the royal guard and a royal scribe, and some of the others, and some other things that should not be talked about here.
So nothing I did. Just so I'm clear on what the fuck just happened. I just want to make a note of that mentally. I didn't hear shit that I did. Oh man, next session is gonna be really interesting.
Yes.
It's gonna be really fucking interesting what happens next session.
I thought that I pulled my blade, my shield before the charges were
Okay. All right.
sent.
Kidron, what were you saying?
I was gonna say that I thought that I pulled my shield and blade before the charges were sent, and that's why I thought, like I didn't know if it was gonna be an ambush or not, so that's why I was sitting here going, pull my shield, my blade, and then suddenly there's charges going upon us. I don't know if it's
Right.
So am I completely unconscious, or did everything just go black?
So, essentially, the status or the state that Atlas is currently in, or that you're currently in, is it's like you're conscious, but there is a blackness. So you can't really hear anything going on. You can't really you don't see anything going on. You don't know where you are. It's almost as if like you've been. It's almost like you're not in the physical world anymore. Like existence has just ceased to exist, per se.
I'll be thinking about that for a week.
Yeah. I would just like to say, I just had my character illustration done. Shout out to Creative 20 on Fiverr. I'll be contacting her for my new character in a couple weeks.
Oh no! Does that mean that? Oh no!
Yeah, I will not be getting a new character drawn. Basically, y'all. So that's the end of it. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I knew this was coming. I just wish I would have known ahead of time. That way, I didn't waste $150. That kind of stings.
Just hold out. It doesn't necessarily mean
true enough. True enough.
We have allies.
Yeah.
Really, because she was one of our most powerful allies, and
she was
turned us in. And I'm like,
okay, so like, are we talking deep, like theoretical stuff here? So, no, Ricard fully expected when he got to Waterdeep, and when he got to the Harpers, there were going to be repercussions. Some things have to be done when they have to be done, but that specific thing was a massive mistake on his part. And he knew there was going to be repercussions.
Wait! I'm sorry. I have so many comments.
You just open the gate.
Oh, but your character has no idea.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
I'm just so many comments. Oh God.
Go ahead and say them.
I can't say them. It's not in game. If Roland finds that out at all. Oh God!
Look, there are things. If Ricard finds out about Roland without Roland coming out and telling him,
what
Ricard, it will be blade to blade.
What do I have?
Oh, you know what you have.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what I have. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
All this thing that when we started, we knew what we were getting into. I mean, at least I knew what I was getting into. After Ricard was saying what exactly was going to happen, I knew what I wanted.
So yeah.
Ricard wanted.
Oh God!
Before you guys feel any kind of detriment to the having drawings done, I absolutely would not plan on removing characters right after. I mean, it's only been a couple of sessions since everybody has gotten their character, so that's a pretty big even like outside of like the game and everything, like that would be a huge hit, and I would be incredibly pissed
I'm so lost
if I were
now.
playing the
Hey,
game.
the game is the game, man. It happens.
The gold is
I am very
on the
happy
ground.
with my character for the whole.
The gold is on the ground.
Oh, and I would hope at this point I've at least started putting it back in the box.
They
Oh,
st-
yeah.
But I
it-
imagine
it's
there's
not
going
ours
to be
anymore.
reparations to be paid, no matter what. So
Master Roland.
This is straight up Game of Thrones shit, right?
Feels like it.
Master Roland.
Yes, Keaton. Yes, Keaton.
It would behoove us to make a second character.
Just
Or
ignore the comment. I'm gonna ignore it.
hey, look, this time at least I'll be able, I'll be able to pick from maybe
Shit.
a slightly custom class like other people have. That'd be much better for me.
Be a second character. It's a lot of fun, and I
was like, why are we talking about death right now?
It's part of the circle of life, Scodrick. You know.
Yes, it's amazing.
Boy, don't I!
I am very conscientious of the getting characters done, and I yeah. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. So let's just wait and see how the next session goes, and potentially the session after that, before you guys start submitting to the idea that you guys paid money for these to have to buy new ones again.
Hey, look, it still looks cool. I don't care.
Okay, but the gold is on the ground.
They look amazing.
The Dawn casters have had the most embarrassing 3 days of any organization
Yeah.
ever. These we attacked one of the people in the caravan just for everyone else knows in the group. It's just some random guy. We didn't tell them he was a red wizard. It's just some guy we attacked. Then we went out. We went out at night.
He's wearing red robes with tattoos all over his body. If they know anything about anything, they would know that.
That's an assumption.
Yeah, some of the characters did make some recognition
Yeah.
as to the
Yeah,
association
okay.
with Red Wizard. So there
So
was
saying that nobody knows, that's also an assumption.
I said it
Hey,
from their
we kept
perspective.
him alive. Maybe he'll
It
get us
looks
out.
like he didn't actually attack us. He just was there. God.
Well, okay, I will say this.
Okay.
If you can explain this real quick for me, DM. When you said
sure.
that we saw the body of Orphney flop over, did it look like a physical blow, or did he just fall over?
when you mean no, his body just flopped over, so there was no
Okay.
other outside influence. Like you just saw his body. Well, the body of the young man
Okay.
who Atlas has identified as Ulfney.
Did he fall off the horse?
No, fell onto the horse, right?
Yeah.
Onto the horse.
Like he
He
just
flopped
slumped over
forward
onto the
on-
horse.
Hey, just so we're clear, he was actually riding that horse.
Yes.
No assistance.
When you say no assistance, you mean
Other than a saddle?
Not like a special mount or anything.
let me go back and look at some of the
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let that pass at all.
perception checks.
Right. I'm not gonna let it pass at all.
Nothing
not-
nothing about the horse itself presented itself as being aid to
All
him
right.
being in the saddle.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Cool. Did you guys have fun?
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. it was a
Oh,
good
yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I finally made it to Waterdeep. I might never leave Waterdeep again, but I finally made it to Waterdeep. I'm happy.
This
Back
close.
home.
This close.
This close.
Getting inside and just taking a nap.
Well, guys,
Honestly.
we should have took the Eastern Gate.
Cool.
6 of one, half dozen of another.
All right.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah,
I love
be
how
alright.
Chris fired. Yeah.
You want to know what I'm angry about? Ricard's angry about not
No.
getting arrested. Ricard expected it.
Not getting.
He was actually more worried about the Harpers being angry at him than him getting arrested. No,
Oh.
he's upset about the daggum bag of holding. That is literally all Ricard is actually angry about right now. Is a daggum bag of holding. I would have handed him the wand, handed over my weapons, like gladly, disarmed myself.
So I just want to know. Okay, this you can. I feel like you could be able to tell me this because I would know. For the most part, what was in the bag, but
Yeah.
I can assume the gold was in the bag, obviously.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming all the cloaks.
Oh yeah, there's a
purple cloaks.
so much crap in there.
There's a bunch of Dragon Cult memorabilia,
Yep, bunch of crap.
and everybody
Oh
just
Dude's
saw
head.
it.
my god.
Dude's head came flying out.
Just making sure that the shit show is in fact a shit
yeah.
show.
It
It's
is, in
fine.
fact.
Then we have the highlighted coming out and telling everybody that we killed a bunch of Royal Guard people, and we can't even lie and say we didn't do it because
Y'all
technically,
didn't do it. Y'all didn't do it.
but you're a
I
part of the group, so it's
Yeah,
like,
It's
oh,
association.
yeah.
You are
I mean,
the dumb
yeah.
master's chest.
Then we had Keegan pull a sword in the middle of the group
Shield and
and,
shield.
and then resist arrest.
Yep.
That's because
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. That's
Okay.
irregardless
Alright.
of what is actually happening before me. People, their sword and shield.
And then we still have to deal with.
If I'm looking at concealed agents, are the agents or not? I don't know. I'm gonna pull my shield and sword.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just taking in perspective of the people watching.
Special, yeah. There's someone that's special next to me. I'm gonna do exactly that. So,
If there's anybody watching who
and
is in the
then
chat and would like to make comments or ask a
oh
question,
my god! And then we have
please,
the
please.
people that were trying to help sneak into the city.
Oh yeah. This
They're
is
just
a-
there with
this
no
is what-
protection now.
This is a great, good old fashioned shit show.
And what else? I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, Charlem! I forgot about Charlem.
She'll say
That
us.
Don't know what the
There is no
fuck's going on with her.
There's no problem.
Problem Roland's turncoat girlfriend.
Speaking
Are
of
we
turncoats,
Are we the turncoats? What's going on?
is the highlighting a turncoat?
No, she's just as far as Ricard's concerned, or like my estimation.
I don't even know anymore.
No, she's doing what had to be done.
Yep.
Wait, so we
She's
knew
not
this was
turncoat.
gonna happen, or Ricard knew this was gonna happen?
Oh, Ricard completely figured it was going to happen.
I pulled a blade because
Definitely
I
got
don't
some
know.
thoughts about that.
I want. There's protection.
Why
If
you
I'm
got
blade,
all
I'm gonna
say
pull
it?
blade.
I'm just a little confused. Roland will be confused if he finds out that Ricard had an inclination, just call it that when we got to the gate, he might be detained along with any associates with him at the time.
Ricard expected it to happen when he got to the Harpers. He expected something to happen there, not necessarily
Okay.
to be arrested at the gate. That was a little bit off-putting.
Okay, but you were taking us to the Harpers.
Correct,
When we got there.
because that is the safest place to get where we were going.
Is it? If we're gonna get detained, punished,
Just like
Yeah.
my reaction, because Master Ricard did not say so, and that's what. Sorry, Cadron would pull his blade shield, and then be like, "Oh crap! What the hell is going on?"
okay, Okay, so again, I'm just a little confused.
Look,
Because
look. Okay, hold on. All this confusion, but keep in mind that none of y'all have engaged Ricard about that specific thing that happened and what he thought would come from it.
What? No, that is a lie. I brought that up repeatedly, and you have
No.
adamantly denied that it's even an issue.
No.
Repeatedly.
You repeatedly started poking fun in it. Not ask me what I really thought would happen. That
Oh my
Roland
God.
and Ricard having a real conversation. Really?
I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I was going to mention just for you guys who
Yeah.
have to get up early. It is 12:20 now. So I was just going to throw that back out there.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. It's a good cliffhanger. We'll hopefully see y'all again next week.
Thanks for coming.
That's for sure.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Battle cry or die.
Yay.